Welcome, my friends, to the Eternal Challenger League Season 3 Qualifier number 5. Today we have some very serious competition, so let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets for the day. So in the first match, we have Aerocrastic facing off against Subutai. In our second best of 3 is going to be Zablaski facing off against Flying Taco. So certainly a full day of competition with some very, very solid players. And I'm excited to be here with you guys. Let's have some fun. Now to kind of recap the Eternal Challenger League. If we look back at the ladder of the lecture counts here, we have Falcon winning the first week, Vicious Satsuma winning week 2. Week 3 was the Undertaker, and week 4 was won by Hadries. So, of course, the winner of today's competition will be the 5th of our lecture counts. Welcome, guys. Yes, it begins. It begins. So let us go ahead and jump into the game, get ready with the players here. And yeah, it looks like they're good to go. So start when ready. So for our first match, it's going to be Aerocrastic as Bretonia facing off against Subutai on the Lizardmen. So as far as the picks go, let's go ahead and look at the picks and bans. Aerocrastic did ban the Dwarves and Vampire Coast as Bretonia and did not ban the Lizardmen. And then Subutai counterpicks with the Lizardmen. So it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with this. I think historically, this has been a pretty tough matchup for the Bretonians, but you know, things have changed. Maybe we're going to see some wild Pegasus Knights. Who knows? You know, things are changing. It's going to be good. Yes, I forgot. Oh no, I forgot the metal intro. Oh no, how could I do that? It's okay. We'll play it at the end of the stream, just to kind of like wind everyone down, right? Yes, the Dark Lord Flying Taco hath arisen. Yes, I'm sorry. I forgot about the stream, King, or about the video. Yeah, King Adizal, thank you for the donation. Firstly, donation for the Absolute Metal intro that's usually shown. We'll show it sometime during the stream. Don't worry, guys. Shows Warhammer for how badass it is. And I'm glad I could catch one live. How's the hand? Hand's doing all right. We're holding on firm. And thank you so much for starting off the stream with the donation, man. Much appreciated. So yeah, it's good to be Bretonia. On the Ogum Shard, which is a really fun map, there are some aquatics here, guys. So there could be an aquatics metagame forming here. You can see these little pools of water. So if the skinks want to fight here, certainly not going to be a bad situation for them. So let me just adjust my fan on my PC, and we're good to go. All right. Players are loading in here, but this is actually one of my favorite of the new maps from the Hunter and the Beast DLC. I think it's really nice. Like, the deployment zones are a little bit small, which is annoying for some factions, but aside from that, it's a really cool map. It has like some nice terrain features and places to hide, has a little hills and nooks and crannies, and I think it's great. Adizal, thank you again for the donation. Arrow is going to be a strong contender. Certainly is. A very solid assumption for sure. A very solid assumption. What's up, Zyphos? So the Dark Lord Zyphos, the champion of Season 4, or Season 2, is going to be playing on Tuesday. So we're going to be having another Eternal Challenger League this coming Tuesday. So tune in for that, guys, and Zyphos will be playing there. Yeah, oh yeah, it's time. Yes, I knew there was going to be Pegasus Knights. I knew it. I just could feel it in the air. So for the Bretonian army, we do, of course, have big old King Louis up here with the Sword of Corone. Sword of Corone, of course, is a staple item in this matchup because it does lower armor. So it lowers armor and melee defense, which are two variables that Lizardmen excel at. So being able to lower their armor with the Sword of Corone is very good because Pegasus Knights don't have the best AP, but if you come in for an Alpha Strike, you lower their armor, you're going to get some pretty good value. Now, he has two groups of Pegasus Knights, just the regular one, so no Royal Boys up here in the sky. For the front line, Spearmen at Arms, Men at Arms should chaff. For the most part, granted, he does have some Foot Squires. So one of the things that Lizardmen sometimes do against Bretonia is just spam Temple Guard and have like a box of Doom. So I think it's a pretty good idea to bring the Foot Squires just to get some AP in there. On top of that, we do have the Companions of Quinellis here, the Questing Knights, a couple Archers in the back line, and Spears, and yeah, two Questing Knights? No, one of them is going to be Knights Errant. So one thing I think this build would struggle against would perhaps be like a Temple Guard box of Doom, but let's go ahead and see what Subutai is bringing. We'll see what's up. I know, Pegasus Knights are here. It's going to be a great match. For the front line of Subutai, we have Saurus Warriors with shields across the entire front line. A couple Temple Guard in reserve, it looks like. No, maybe just one group. And the classic anti-large kit here with the Feral Carnosaur. And for the Lord here, we have a Slan Mage Priest with life. So he's really going to be going for that long, grindy game. But this Carnosaur is definitely going to be getting hunted. I mean, Lewin plus that Pegasus Goon Squad, if they're able to isolate this bad boy, could be some serious trouble. We have the Power Fist Croxagors. Oh yeah, the Cohort of Waddle. Now, these guys I feel like are a little bit underrated, slightly overcosted, but nonetheless, these guys hit like absolute trucks. I mean, any target they get on, they will melt it. If they're getting on the Questing Knights, they will cut them to shreds. They hit very, very hard and have great combat stats. So I really do love the Cohort of Waddle. And a bunch of Skinks, which of course will be benefiting from the Aquatics trait here in this marshland. Yeah, let's do it to it. Good luck, have fun. Start anytime. No need to wait. So yeah, not like as much like anti-large as you would sometimes see. I mean, we have one group of, oh, it's actually Star Chamber Guardians. So those guys are, you know, pretty durable for sure. But just the Feral Carnosaur, really, and the Star Chamber Guardians. I mean, there are some spears over here. It's the Legion of Chaqua, so just to help out with some missile pressure and some more dedicated anti-large here. So yeah, I'm really curious how Aerocrastic's going to take this army apart. He's really going to have to isolate things, like pull the Carnosaur away from the main battle, get the Pegasus Knight Goon Squad, and then chase it off the battlefield. If he could do that, it's going to be a pretty solid, I think, a pathway to victory. But of course, we'll find out here in a second. So for anyone just joining, this is the first game of the day between Aerocrastic, who's playing Bretonnia, and he's facing off against Subutai, who is playing the Lizardmen. This is game 1 of the first best of 3, so you guys are joining just perfect timing. So firstly, you can see here, King Lewin and the Pegasus Knight's going to be taking that wide angle, looking for the juicy engagement on that Feral Carno, and I think he's going to get it. Like, I don't know if there's anything nearby to help. He probably wants to pull the Carno back on top of Star Chamber Guardians or other troops like that. But if he does that, then Arrow gets freebies here on the Skink cohorts, which it looks like he's going to be going in. So the first charge here of the Pegasus Knight's going to be coming into the Skinks, getting a great punt on those guys. So those guys really get Shrek'd pretty good. And yeah, they pretty much just got KO'd. They're down to like 30-40%. A really lightly armored target for sure. And only 400 gold, but still that's 300 gold, which if he gets away without losing any Pegasus Knights, that's, it's free real estate. It looks like he did lose one Pegasus Knight, which isn't the biggest deal. They're still pretty healthy, so not a bad engagement there for the Bretonians. And I also don't think that Earthblood is worth it. Healing those guys up, I think it was a little bit, it's going to heal. They lost a lot of, I just don't think it's worth it, but anyways, here you can see the companions are going to be doing a downhill charge right into these Saurus warriors. That's going to be a nice one. They don't have charge defense, so that's quite good. Pegasus Knight's coming in for a counter charge as well, but swooping into the back of the Saurus. So getting a big old alpha strike on that group of Saurus warriors who are normally super tanky, but they're actually going down rather quickly. So nice pick so far. In the front line, you can see the defenders of Fleur de Lis here are going to be fighting shoulder to shoulder with some men-at-arms against these Saurus in the front and doing quite good, but Arrow is a little bit, taking a little bit of damage here from the Feral Carnosaur. It looks like it was able to do some okay work here against the Pegasus Knights. Yeah, you can see they lost a couple models there, and a nice banishment as well is able to force back the Bretonians, but still a really good grab by Arrow. I mean, that's 100% worth it. He was able to alpha strike some Saurus, at which point, if he wants to play that very slow, patient game, he could simply chase them off the battlefield. I mean, with any number of units. So in the meantime, Pegasus Knight's going to be flying overhead, and he's just looking for isolated targets, taking advantage of his speed. So he's going to be flying over here, going after the Skink cohorts, maybe? I mean, he could just do a big old 1-2 punch and take out like 700 or 800 gold worth of value right here, I would imagine. But here the Lizards are surging forward. You can see these Star Chamber Guardians are going to be engaging against Foot Squires with the support of Aslan and also Feral Carnosaur. So this is going to be a pretty terrible situation for the Foot Squire. So though the Bretonnia is getting some really good picks, it's not without a cost. They are losing some peasants, and I mean, that's the Bretonian way. On top of that, Aerocrastic is able to get the Beast Slayers of Bastion in here to fight the Feral Carnosaur, so he does have the anti-large kit, fighting the appropriate targets. And the Pegasus Knights are just kind of bouncing back and forth, and as are the companions, and I think he split up the Pegasus Knights. So one group was diving right here to get rid of the Skinks, and I think another group over here is fighting somewhere. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yes, it looks like they did a rear charge on the Saurus to try and help those peasants win the battle. Now, as far as the balance of power goes, it's a little bit in the favor of Bretonnia. Some of their, picks and isolations have just been super good right now. And you can see that we do also have a Grail in here, so the Grail's going to keep those Beast Slayers fighting all day, and they're on the ideal target. They're fighting the Feral Carnosaur. The Carno needs to get elsewhere. It needs to go after the defenders. It needs to go after the companions. It needs to go after the Pegasus Knights and try and screen them out. And it looks like these Star Chamber Guardians are going to be taking a big old charge here from the Pegasus Knights and the companions. And they take some damage, but this isn't bad. Very good response here by Subutai. He does use the Aura of Pretzel to give the melee defense and also stacks of regrowth. And now you can see the Power Fist Croc scores are going to be coming over. So some of these companions are going to be getting beaten down by these Power Fist Croc scores. So despite a pretty good charge there by Aerocrastic, also a good counter response here from Subutai, who is going to be picking off a couple companions on the retreat. And yeah, not bad at all. So if we take a big old look at the balance of power, it's still even. Bretonians do, of course, have the Pegasus Knights, and King Lewin's going in pretty deep here and attacking these Saurus warriors. I know, my brother's dog is invading. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. And we're back. So right here you can see that the defenders are going to be surging back, running away from the Feral Carnosaur, which is certainly a good idea, but this is probably the pick that Aerocrastic's been waiting for all day, right? He's able to get the Feral Carnosaur away, and at this point he can pull in the Pegasus Knights and some of these other troops, and he can attack and maybe isolate it. No, but it looks like the Feral Carno is just barely going to get away. This guy's going to be pulling back right here, and yeah, it's doing it to it. So Feral Carno pulls back behind the Legion of Chaqua. So very good play there. I mean, this is just back and forth. Really good alpha strikes, but also good defense. And here the Foot Squires are still fighting. I can't believe it. But yeah, they're going to get power fisted pretty bad. And even a Bretonian Grail is not going to be able to save these guys. They're just going to be getting karate chopped into another dimension. Yeah, there they go. Getting smashed by those glowing orbs of doom on their fists by the cohort of Waddle. Yeah, Bounce Fire is pretty much dead even. The Bretonnians at this point, I think, have to kind of start isolating and just picking off even more. Taking a straight fight against this type of an army, like Regrowth Salon, you have a Feral Carno, Star Chamber Guardians, Cohort of Hoddle, isn't going to be the best, but if Lewin can get those picks, like go in, beat down this Feral Carnosaur, get rid of it, and then cycle charge the rest into Oblivion, that could be quite good. But, you know, this Cohort's actually quite scary. 59 kills, they're going to be really tough to take out. Also a Banishment going down from the Salon as well, which is going to be roasting some of the Spearmen in the back who have been hit with Earthblood there, so that's quite good for them. There are some Bretonnian archers left. Looks like we have a group of 47 right here, but they're not going to be able to do much. I mean, most of the cohorts and Saurus are all shielded. Legion of Chaqua are shielded. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Anyways, Arrow going for a big alpha strike over here, guys. So he pulls the Pegasus Knights. He tries to get the Feral Carno, but Cold Blood plus Earth Blood is able to keep that guy up. Really good response there from Subutai. And you can see here that Arrow's going to have to fall back with King Lewin, and the Pegasus Knights obviously are going to be taking some pretty heavy casualties. As a matter of fact, a couple of them have been dragged down and held down here by the Star Chamber Guardians. Yeah, oh, and the T-Rex comes in and just rips one of those guys. Oh, he's got it in his mouth. Brutal stuff right there. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and take a look and revisit the Bounce of Power. It's still pretty much dead even. I mean, really close game here. So Arrow does have some stuff he can isolate. He can get these skink cohorts on the flanks. Looks like in the distance there are some Saurus Warriors, 46 here, and oh, another 36 here. So I think before taking a main fight, getting rid of these units on the periphery would be super important. That would be really nice. So he needs to get those guys over there and remove them because the Lizards are actually pulling ahead on the Bounce of Power right now. In the meantime, Feral Carno is going to be on the hunt. It's going to be going after the companions right here. And yeah, just chasing things down. And yeah, I always felt like this is a really hard matchup for Bretonnia. Like dealing with the, you know, Temple Guard and the Feral Carnos and stuff like that, you really have to get those good isolations. Otherwise, it's just incredibly tough. So some skinks here being hunted down by King Lewin and company. It looks like he is able to fight them. But guys, he's fighting the skinks in their natural habitat, which is going to be the water. And you know what that means, guys? It means aquatics. Aquatics. Pretty brutal stuff. So for the Lizards at this point, they probably just need to stay high and tight, just keep a defensive formation, and just make sure nothing gets picked off, and just play that patient game. Just go and chase down Bretonnian infantry methodically, and when these guys charge in, counterpunch, and just get your money's worth for sure. So Pegasus Knights and Lewin thinking about doing a strike here. Lewin's going in. It's pretty ballsy for sure, considering the cohort of Waddler here. So Lewin does land, but the Pegasus Knights do pull back at the last second, and then switch targets onto the other skinks over here, which is a pretty good choice. But Lewin needs to be careful. If he gets surrounded by those guys, he's going to be taking a ton of damage. But what he's trying to do is Arrow's trying to pull away the cohort of Waddle, the spears, and then get his cav on the backside and hammer these Saurus and basically push them away, which is smart. He's pulling, you know, the cohort and all these big, heavy lizardmen, heavy hitters over here into this part of the formation while the Knights charge into the back. So here come the companions, here come the defenders of Fleur-de-Lis, and they're going to be getting some good value. Granted, the Star Chamber Guardians are still back here, so it's not free real estate. It's very heavily taxed real estate. In the meantime, we have Saurus over here coming back. We have Saurus over here coming back. So, I mean, if Subutai gets those guys back, that's going to be incredibly strong for sure. Really close game. This is just an awesome match. So Pegasus Knights find a decent charge right here. They charge into the back of the Legion of Chaqua here, and the Sword of Crone is active. So the armor's only 45, which is quite good, but they have to pull out pretty quick. That's what she said, because we do, of course, have the Feral Carnosaur and the cohort of Waddle coming in, which is going to be a little bit tricky. So yeah, they need to get back like ASAP here. This is a very dicey situation. The Grail's going to be sitting on the periphery here, keeping these guys fighting. It is also giving the Beast Slayers of Ashdone that immunity to Psych and leadership, which is super huge. If he can force combat between the cohort of Waddle and the Beast Slayers of Ashdone, that could be something that could perhaps get Bretonnia back in the game, because they're slowly kind of ebbing back, and I don't know how much longer the Beast Slayers are going to be able to hold. They're still eager, but Pegasus Knights are 3 models here. We have 4 models here. So those guys are, relatively speaking, going to be a non-factor. And in the distance, what do we have? We have the Companions, who are basically just cycle charging Temple Guard to the best of their abilities. But oh no, they're in sustained combat versus the Temple Guard. The Temple Guard will cut them to shreds. 17 models, you can see they're dropping very rapidly. And slowly, the Bretonnians are kind of falling apart here as the Lizardmen durability is just really anchoring. I mean, the Legion of Chaqua here, the cohort of Waddle are just linebackers, and I really love this pick here from Subutai. I think it's a great pick. They just hit like absolute trucks, magic damage, armor sundering, just have all the tools against Bretonnia. So right now, Arrow's going to be trying to go after the Feral Carnosaur, which is smart. If he can get this away, chase it off, despite it being healthy, that's going to be a huge boon for him. And then it's going to give Lewin more mobility to kind of alpha strike. And the Feral Carno has about 2,800. Here comes some Knights as well, charging into the back of this formation. But yeah, the Slan too with the healing. Oh man, that's going to be so good with that freaking cohort. It looks like there's going to be a heal going down. I'm not sure from who. And it looks like it's going to be a heal from Bretonnia. But he's got to be careful. The bounce power is getting danger close, guys. Danger close to that army losses here. So he needs to, you know, get some of those goodies. And this is actually a target he could go after. There's a Skink Chief here as well that he could potentially isolate and get some value from. Anyways here, Subutai holding quite firm. Slan here, I mean, the Beast Slayers of Ashdone doing really good. Shield of Thorns, of course, is going to be able to kind of keep fighting. but they're fighting basically a superior spear unit. The Legion is probably quite a bit stronger in terms of its offensive output, firstly, and also its durability. I mean, Saurus are just very, very meaty characters. So Lewin has to pull back here. He's being chased by the Power Fist Croxagors, and unfortunately for Bretonnia, this pretty much spells doom for the Grail. The Grail's just going to get body chopped, I would imagine, by any number of these lizard threats. And a very nice Earthblood going down, and honestly, guys, I think that's going to be game one going to Subutai. It looks like he's just got so many powerful units up. Feral Carnosaur, Power Fist Croxagors, just so much stuff in the battlefield, and all that healing is just so good and tasty. And guys, that's going to be game one going to Subutai. Man, what a game. Well played to both players. That was an outstanding battle. I mean, Arrow had some great micro, but I just don't think like there was enough punch to really get rid of the cohort and some of those other threats. Yeah, it was just, he played really well. They both played super well. They both responded. Arrow had really good isolation. Subutai had really good responses with the aura of Pretzel and the healing, and it was just a great game. So well played to those two players. All right, so let's go ahead and update the scoreboard here. Remember, this is best of 3 in the initial round of the qualifiers. So let us go ahead and move on to the next match. So GG, well played. Subutai says, that was a fun one. It was certainly fun. And don't worry, guys, I'll be taking a look at your donations here in just a minute. I'm just going back to get the map for the next one. All right, so next we're on Alturf Outskirts, which is a classic map. So now Subutai. So now Subutai gets to pick and ban. So he gets to pick, looks like he's picking vampire counts, and he gets to ban 2 factions. So then Aerocrastic from there will pick. Why is it on that map? Alturf Outskirts. So we have a couple fatty donations coming in. So firstly, let me scroll back up here so I don't miss these. From Garland Green, the 100 SEK, thank you so much. Coffee and a live stream. Life ain't bad, people, just drop them likes. Also, the clock is awesome. Tell Lady Turin she's awesome. I will, for sure. Although I suspect she already knows. She does. She knows it. Thank you so much, fan, for your support, and glad you're enjoying the clock. Jack Conroy, thank you for the 20. Best way to start my weekend is here again. Here to support my favorite YouTuber and learn from high-level play. Do it. Dude, Jack, we're doing it all day. We're doing it for the next 2 hours at the very least. I would imagine it's going to be going. These are some good games for sure. So thank you, man. And Liam Barrett. Hey, man, just wanted to say thanks for getting me through nursing school. Also finishing up my Death Guard Land Raider. Nice, man. Well, congrats on finishing nursing school. And secondly, I'm glad to always meet a fellow brother of the Death Guard Legion. We're facing some dark times now as Death Guard players, but nonetheless, we'll get through it together, man. Thank you for your support. Yeah, it was the aquatics, 100%. That was what did it. So, all right, so he bans... Subutai picks vampire counts. He bans wood elves and dark elves. And then Aerocrastic picks the third elf, so he picks the high elves. So it's going to be high elves versus vampire counts. This is going to be fun. I'm excited to see what he brings to the battlefield, because I've actually been wondering about this matchup myself. Yeah. Never leave home. You know, a Trebuchet might have been an interesting pick there as well, to like deal with Temple Guard and the Legion. I feel like Trebuchets like can kind of get mixed in and occasionally be like a good wildcard pick or something. So one sec, guys. All right. We're rolling, guys. We're rolling on. We're having fun. Game one. Sounds good, Garland. You do your thing, man. Hold on, just checking some settings here on the stream. We also have a donation coming in from Mr. Let me see how to say your name here. Ilif, Mr. Ilif. Thank you so much for the $5 on PayPal, man. Cheers, brother. I'm much appreciated. So here we go. Game 2. Aerocrastic's on the ropes. Not something you hear often, but he's got to win this game. Are we going to get the reverse sweep? Perhaps so. And for our second best of 3 of the day, we have Zablaski facing off against Flying Taco. So for anyone joining, let's go ahead and take a look here. So this is Aerocrastic for Subutai. And then in our second best of 3, we have Zablaski facing off against Flying Taco, which is going to be a great battle as well. Very excited for that. And of course, the winner will be getting their name on the list of elector counts for the grand finals, which will be happening probably, I don't know, probably like around Christmas. We'll find out. But yeah, sometime in that time frame. So that's pretty much it. So players are picking their armies. I really want to look, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to spoil it for myself. Oh, man. Turin, it's pronounced... what did I miss? Oh, my God. We got some big ones coming in. So, Son of Kiernan, thank you for the $4.99. He says, what buffs do Razordons need to be competitive? They need... The range is their big issue. They get line of sight obstructed pretty easily as well. So maybe if you gave their like darts like kind of like the same effect as archers, so they could shoot over infantry battles, and then also give them a little bit more range, like the same as other salamanders. If they had 125 range, they would be good, I think. And then we have Goober Med Barton 1. Oh my god, 1,000 NOK. I think it's like $100. We need some green boys, dude. If I had any influence, I would gladly throw in some greenskins for you. Thank you so much, man, for that very generous donation. And I know I'd love to see some greenskins too. I think, as a matter of fact, Subutai might play them. So, man, thank you so much for that. That's very generous of you, dude. Yeah, the green tide is coming. No, Johan, I never play an Everchosen. I cast Everchosen. Yeah, you can't do doing both would be a little bit ridiculous, I think. Yeah. Yeah. A trebuchet is a tree bucket? Oh, all right. Goodman Bed Barton 1. Again, thank you so much for that very generous donation, dude. That's really nice. It means a lot. And yeah, I wish we could get some greenskins in here. I hope it happens, although I don't know if any of these players... Aerocrastic plays greenskins sometimes, so if he wins this, then perhaps you might see some greenskins. We'll see. Yeah, Everchosen. We cast it. I would love to play an Everchosen, you know, but I would totally play in it. Like, if I wasn't casting, if they karate chopped me for some reason, but then offered me a chance to play in it, I would do it for sure. Yeah. I would do it 100%. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Man, those are some really generous donations. Turin is truly the never chosen. Yeah, I think Gubin Med Barton, I think your assessment is quite correct. Turin isn't the ever chosen. He's the haggard Dark Lord watching the game as his Chaos Champions try to win his favor. That's pretty good. I like that, man. Yeah, Taco plays greenskins as well. He plays greenskins, he plays Pertonia. So we're going to be seeing some really fun stuff for sure. Misha, I actually played a really good Skarsnik game versus King of the Dead yesterday, which will be going up on the channel in a couple days, so. Yeah. And Everchosen is actually a tournament format I could play in because it's just like, you just play like one best of 3 or one best of 5, like in a day. So I could totally play in that too. It's like a perfect format for me. All right, so here we are, guys. You want me to be the final boss of Everchosen? Oh my god. Trust me, the guys who win Everchosen are better players than me. Like, I could beat them occasionally, perhaps, and like take games off them, but they're better players than me. Like, come on. Let's be honest here. They're much better. All right. So now for the Army of Aerocrastic here, on the ropes, but certainly I think I've seen him in this matchup doing quite well before. So in the front line for Aero, he's got Spearmen. He does also have Swordmasters of Hoa. So I like this. He's got the tank and spank. He's got the Spearmen. We're going to be able to kind of hold. And Swordmasters themselves are going to be able to methodically just cut through Chaff, through Graveguard, you name it. Those guys pack some serious punch. On top of that, we also have the Pure Main Company. Interesting stuff. I mean, they do bring Guardian to the battlefield and of course, do have some armor sundering. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what he uses the Pure Main Company for. I mean, Ilariel can hide amongst them to get the Guardian, but typically, you know, she's just going to be outrunning the Flying Forces and doing things that way. So on top of that, we got 4 groups of Lothern Sea Guard, anti-large, so pretty durable against mobile threats themselves, like Blood Knights or Black Knights coming in. They're going to be able to kind of defend themselves, which is quite nice. In the back, we have the Fireborn. These guys are a great pick against vampires. A little bit susceptible to Manfred, because Manfred can come in with Fate of Yuna and do some stuff like that. But these guys do have anti-large and fire damage, so the anti-large against Terror Gooses is quite good, plus the fire damage. They also take, yeah, they should be taking extra from fire because they are a regenerating beast. So that's pretty much it for Aero's army. Lothern Sea Guard with a somewhat elite front line, actually, with White Lions, Swordmasters, plus the Pure Main Company here. Yeah, pretty cool. Ilariel, of course. Anytime you bring Fireborn or a Dragon Prince style build, I think having those heals is quite juicy. And yeah, it looks like he has Silver Helms on the other side as well. Now for the forces of Subutai, he's got the Feasters in the Dusk lurking in the shadows. Also some Direwolves in the back as well. And for the rest of the army, it looks like it's going to be double Blood Knight here with the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. We got the Dire Pack, and for the rest of the force, it's going to be Zombie and Graveguard here. And it looks like we do also have some Terror Gooses. Yes, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Quite excited to see this matchup. As far as the frontline fight goes, I mean, obviously Aerocrastic's going to be able to win that, but really the issue is dealing with the Blood Knights. Blood Knights are just powerhouse units, and especially with the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord kind of leading the charge with the Helm of Discord. So that's basically it. It feels like Subutai is going to be trying to get that big alpha strike, like forcing the Blood Knights into a fight with the Fireborn, using the Helm of Discord, the zombie summons, and like all that good stuff to kind of, you know, weigh down the Blood Knights, or excuse me, the freaking the red fire cab over here, the Fireborn. That's right. Sorry guys, I just woke up. Pepperidge Farm doesn't always remember, but it tries. Tries its best. And let's see if they have any questions. They said ready to go. Looks like both lists are tournament legal. Just checking them out here, doing my peripheral scanning. There's also a Terror Goose on the other side, which is a really good pick. I think the Goose here is going to be just pretty good against, like, hunting down Alarielle, forcing her to run. Also doing some good pressure against Silverhelms and some of the other threats. The AP also helps against, like, White Lions and Swordmasters and things like that. I have no idea, Christian. Yeah, that's a question. I haven't had one of those in a long time. What's in the left corner? It looks like some Direwolves. Yeah, he's got Direwolves in the back. Direwolves. Yeah, good catch, guys. Good eyes. I like that. Feasters in the dusk here. Feasters are, it's kind of a cool thing here. Because Feasters, if they go uninterrupted, are going to be able to get on Lothar and Seaguard and actually do a ton of damage to those guys. So hopefully for Arrow's sake, he scouts back here. I mean, probably sending some Silverhelms back here to kind of just check things out. Because if Silverhelms just, charge these guys, they're going to be taking a holy beating. Not unholy, but yeah, looks like they're good to go. Good luck, have fun. Subutai just gives the eyes, the smiley eyes. The schemes. The dogs are lurking. Yeah, Sisters of Avalorn are really good in this matchup too. I mean, the fire damage, the AP, they can take down Blood Knights, they can take down Gooses really efficiently, but it looks like Arrow's going to be going for a bit of a wider style of play, investing actually more in his infantry, like Swordmasters and things like that. Because oftentimes you see that High Elves just come in with Sisters, and they actually don't bring like Pyrmane Company and Swordmasters, they just use Spearmen and Cav, and then Sisters, and that's pretty proven, it works well, but I think this build has some teeth as well. So we're going to see what happens here. So as far as these spells on Alarielle, we do have Tempest, which is going to be very good against the Goose. We have Earthblood, and that's pretty much it. He does also have the items on Alarielle, which are going to give immune to Psych to nearby units. And the first volleys are coming in, a little bit of friendly fire as Alarielle flies by there, but for the most part, she should be good. And yeah, there's a massive ambush coming out of the forest. So the Blood Knights, there are some Spearmen here as well, but this is what the Vampire Counts want, I think. They want to use that Helm of Discord and get that big, juicy kind of, fight there. In the front line, Swordmasters are engaging with zombies and soon to be Graveguard. We have some Silverhelms charging in the front as well. So yeah, the zombies are going to go down quick, but they're only 100 gold. I mean, ultimately, they're just a distraction Carnifex. So basically, Arrow needs to just screen these guys out. He needs to just make sure that they can't get into the back line easily. And the Blood Knights look like they're coming in for a charge. Alarielle actually charges to try and break the charge. Pyrmane Company's here as well, which is going to give her Guardian. And the Fireborn get the good counter charge. A little bit out of position here with the Blooddragon Vampire Lord, perhaps, because he's taking so much damage here on the Blood Knights. I mean, they're just getting shreked, but really good play here. Subutai's getting the dogs in as well, but Arrowcrastic coming in as well with the Silverhelms, but dogs and dogs, as well as the Feasters in the Dusk. So despite the good defense from Arrowcrastic, there's still going to be two units here that are fairly compromised. The Feasters are coming in, all kinds of madness. Now, this is going to be a big blob fight, so it's going to be Helm of Discord versus the Star of Avalorn, and it looks like the Star of Avalorn is winning the fight. The Blood Knights are getting taken out super quick. There's also White Lions here, and White Lions are actually pretty good against Cav. They have relatively high melee attack, not now because they're debuffed, but they have high melee attack, good AP. They can actually hurt Blood Knights and do a ton of work. So far, I think Arrowcrastic has come out ahead on this flank trade. Granted, there is another group of Blood Knights, and the Lothar and Seaguard are being hunted by the Feasters in the Dusk. So the other Blood Knights do pull away from this engagement, I think realizing it's a lost cause. So basically, at this point, Subutai needs to get his value elsewhere. He needs to hunt down Lothar and Seaguard, other troops like that, and make sure that he's getting into the cookie jar. So here comes a charge. And it looks like he might have braced in time. I think Arrow might have gotten that, but that's what's cool about Lothar and Seaguard is they are spear units, so they're going to be pretty durable against this Blood Knight charge, which is quite good, good and tasty. So in the front line here, the Graveguard are just getting massacred. If you look here, the Swordmasters are just giving the business. I mean, these Graveguard are getting cut to pieces. 151 kills on the Swordmasters. And in the meantime, Fireborn's still fighting. The Blood Knights are, I think the first group of Blood Knights is pretty much 100% KO'd. The Direwolves are fighting as well. But eventually the Fireborn might actually crumble down, but also you can see that the Terror Goose is taking a lot of damage as well. So still a matchup or a situation here that I think is much better here for the High Elves. I think they're winning this fight. The Fireborn are holding on. They still have 24 models. They have a ton of ground support in the form of the Pyrmane Company. And now the Goose is going to be taking a torrent of fire here from the Lothar and Seaguard. Just so much damage coming in, negative 54. And yeah, I think this pretty much spells doom for the Vampire Counts. Their Alpha Strike just wasn't as potent as the High Elf defenses with the Star of Avalorn and those really good defensive countercharges. Plus, Arrowcrastic had a ton of support on the ground. He had Pyrmane Company, he had White Lions. Like, they were able to just bring so much extra AP to the battlefield that I just think it's going to be it. I think the High Elves are going to win this one. So the foul Vampire Counts, Blood Knights are crumbling. We have a Blooddragon Vampire Lord who's honestly probably just going to get surrounded and gooned out here by the Pyrmane Company. Swordmasters are just destroying the front line. 219 kills on those Swordmasters. Absolute beasts. Man, great stuff here. So Lothar and Seaguard are all in good shape, and yeah, that's going to be game. There's no way at that point you can come back. So that's going to be game 2 to Arrowcrastic. He's back on the scoreboard, boys, and he's coming for blood. We got 1-1 here in this first best of 3 showdown. That's how it always should be. I love it. And let's see how this goes. So boom, 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 and a boom. And we're good to go. 1-1 here, guys. Controversial stuff. Not really, but it's just fun to say that. So let's go ahead and go here. Let's hunch the maps. Where are the maps? I know you're here somewhere. Good, Anakin, good. Central Chaos Waste. All right. The Central Chaos Waste call. All right. Cool. Oh, that was good. Those freaking Swordmasters just plowed. Nightman, you haven't missed too many games. As a matter of fact, we're still in our first best of 3 of the day. Yeah, it's been a really good day. His army was very healthy. That was a really good victory for sure. Are Treekin and Treemen any good in PvP? So Treemen, I think, are one of the worst units in PvP. They're not very. Well, I just think they're just not that good, especially in the Wood Elf roster. Treekin can be okay very situationally, but they're usually better when you mix them with Avalorn instead of Wood Elves. Yeah. Yeah. The first game was Bretonnia versus Lizardmen, which is a really hard matchup here, so. So they're working out the matchup here. I always give the players the option to do gentlemen's agreements if they don't. They did picks and bans for the first games, but they're more than welcome to do gents agreements and just kind of decide on a matchup they're both happy with, right? Which I think makes for very good games. Swordmasters can be good. I don't think you want to mass them, but I think they, they're pretty powerful, for sure. They're quite powerful. That glorious feel when a melee foot unit takes top kill count. I know, it's nice, right? Yeah. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions about PvP, we have a lot of good players here in chat as well. I'm pretty sure Zyphos is still lurking, so make sure to ask him. He's a really good player. So yeah, he can answer most of your questions that perhaps I may have missed or things like that. Yeah, Tree King can be okay as like a roadblock against Cav. Or like in really grindy kind of Death Star styles of play. Aerocrastic looks like he's going to be playing Skaven. Turin, would Outriders be OP with a... Yeah, I think if our Outriders could 360 shoot, I don't know if they'd be OP. Yeah, they might be a little bit too strong, like a Parthian shot, like AP unit like that. It would certainly make them exponentially better. Like, people would just like probably be like, I don't know if I want to bring Pistoliers anymore. Yeah, the Alberic campaign, we're going to be doing another episode probably tomorrow. Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, those Swordmasters literally just gave those Graveguard the business. Like, they lost like a couple models, because Graveguard don't have good AP. Plus, the super high melee defense on Swordmasters is quite insane. So, arrows on rats. Okay. And let's see who super type picks. They might be doing... I think they're doing gents. What is the best heavy infantry overall? If you're just talking about a duel, I'm pretty sure the ones that win are... I did a video on this a while back. What was it? It was a video I did with Italian Spartacus. It was like a couple months ago. We tested... I think it was either the... the Crimson Killas were the strongest because they got a model count increase. So I think they actually won most of the fights. I mean, there were matchups in which they lost to Chosen with great weapons, but statistically they won more often than they lost. I think it was Crimson Killas were the strongest one. I can't remember. Jonathan Spire says, yo, Turin, you're going to host a community battles if the tournament doesn't go all the way? Perhaps so. Perhaps so. Yeah, we'll see. Perhaps so, my friend. Vodka Cupcake says, Turin has noticed me. I'm down here. Oh, my God. Yes, we got Skaven. And Skaven versus Empire. Perfect. You know what? I feel like this is a good matchup for the Empire. Like, I love Empire against Skaven. Huntsmen are just so damn good. They can stalk, they can creep up, they can take out Skaven gun lines, they kill Rat Ogres, they kill Hell Pits. Like, the Anti-Large is even good against Doom Wheels and Flares. Marcus is a monster here. He can snipe those Skaven Lords all day. Like, I feel like this is a good matchup for Empire. But again, Skaven are super strong, so it's, I don't know. Let's just call it an even matchup, I suppose. Yeah. It depends on how good Subutai is at Empire, but yeah. We'll ready up. Stand by for that, Vodka Cupcake. Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. So Crimson Killers actually do much better when they're fighting units that have higher model counts. Like, where you see Crimson Killers power levels fall off is when they're fighting low model counts because their splash damage isn't as pertinent. So that's a really good point raised in chat as well. But in just a vacuum of dueling, I'm pretty sure Crimson Killers took the spot as the #1 great weapon unit, which was pretty cool. It was a very, very fun test for sure. I am a huge fan of Huntsman stuff. I hear you, Jonathan. I hear you, man. What do you guys think would be a good faction for starting multiplayer? I would recommend Lizardmen, actually. I think they're pretty good. Because, like, they're just very tanky. They're very resilient. Like, it's hard to just get gooned out instantly. Like, if you play a lot of the Nations of Men, like Empire, Bretonia, like, if you get caught with a couple bad engagements, you could just, like, lose instantly. But with Lizards, you bring, like, healing. You bring heavily armored beasts. Saurus are really durable. Temple Guard are. Lizardmen are a good beginner faction, I think. But they also have a high skill cap. That's what's cool about them. Like, if you invest your time in Lizards, you're not going to regret it. They have a lot of dynamic play. They have a lot of lord choices. Like, Lizardmen are very cool, so I think they're really good for beginners as well. Dwarfs are... I wouldn't say dwarfs are good for beginners. I mean, yeah, you can go with, like, a Death Star with, like, tankiness and just box, but I think that playing dwarves on a high level is actually very difficult. Yeah. Yeah, Norska's not a bad one. Norska's not a bad one. Like, just bring Famir and Mammoths and Infantry, and, like, you can honestly do pretty well for yourself. Yeah, Lich 109. We did spread them out, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can't remember if we did. I'm not sure where Subutai's from. To answer your question, Ivan, I have no idea. I think Hammers are not the best. Neither are Thanes, but they do have some niche applications. But in general, I don't think they're the best. Yeah. Ordo Malia says, start with Wood Elves. Easy to play and loved by the community. Definitely not. Wood Elves are hard to play. Yeah. But once you master them, they can be really obnoxious for sure. We need some Stone Cold Steve Austin theme to play whenever someone brings Volkmar. You know, I got to come up with, like, a soundboard. I got to come up with, like, stuff, like, when something happens in stream, I can, like, play it, you know? And we have a donation coming in from Frank. Frank, thank you so much. It came in 14 minutes ago. My apologies for missing that, but thank you so much for the $5 donation, Frank. Hope you're enjoying the stream, brother. We got you covered. I always thought Frank was a cool name. When I used to be an athletic director, one of my coaches that I worked with was named Frank, and he was just an absolute badass. So I've always had a good association with that name. Yes, we can talk about Everchosen. Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. Get to hang out with the glorious likes of Lore Master of Sotek, Spartacus, Party Elite. It's going to be fun. Hammers are, like, an interesting one. I feel like sometimes you can surprise people with them. Yeah, but I don't know. I find they just crumble really quickly. Like, usually just going with Ironbreakers I think is more cost effective in most matchups. All right, guys, so this is it. I mean, Aerocrastic here. A little bit on the ropes. You know, it's 1-1. But, you know, is he going to be able to pull it off? He's playing Skaven, which is one of his best races. I don't know if I would call him a Skaven main, but we'll have to see. We'll have to ask him about that. So as far as the Skaven army goes, in the front line, it's going to be Skaven slaves mixed in with some Plague Monks. So he does have some troop quality in the front line. Not much, but, you know, he has a little bit more than the average Skaven slave front line. Now, he does also have Skaven slaves with slingers, which are going to be super essential because the Empire is actually spamming a flying goon squad. So they have Boris, they have an Amethyst Wizard, plus they also have an Amber Wizard. So they're just going for, like, really nasty sniping. So I think having those rats to throw rocks at them is going to be super important. On top of that, he does have a Grace here with the Lore of Plague here on the wheel or the furnace. Or no, that's going to be the Screaming Bell, not the furnace. We have a Doom Wheel, we have several groups of Rat Ogres, 4 of those bad boys, and some Flares as well. So very, very cool army. Now for the Forces of Subutai, pretty good stuff. He's got Empire Knights to kind of harass and just run over cheap infantry. And the front line is going to be Spearmen and Swordsmen into the sunset, including Sigmar Sons. Flagellants in the secondary, Huntsmen, great picks here. I love this army so far. And then a really nasty Goon Squad. I think this army's great. I mean, Spirit Leech plus Boris plus this huge Imperial Griffin Amber Wizard is going to be incredibly nasty. Manticore Summons, of course, are going to make it even harder. So I love this army here from Subutai. I think it's very, very good. So we'll see how this goes. We will see how this goes. Mr. Nyatek, thank you for the 10 Zlatis. Jankuya, my friend. Jankuya. And I hope you're doing well. I say chesht to you as we carry forward. Yeah, and here it comes, guys. The battle's underway. Here come the Skaven legions marching forward to meet their adversary across the battlefield. I'm not sure how the Empire and the Skaven met in the Central Chaos Wastes, but you know what? It's Warhammer. Don't ask questions. Just take it. So the Doom Wheels are going to be quite good in the Flayers, because if this Goon Squad is very fixated on killing Arrow's Lord, he's going to be able to get these Flayers and the Doom Wheels and just run through this entire Empire front line. Because it looks like, I mean, there's no mass over here. This is a little bit concerning for Subutai. He doesn't have any mass. So, like, these Flayers are just going to go balls deep in this formation for sure, as is the Doom Wheel. So now you can see Subutai is going to be pulling back here with his Goon Squad. You can see the Amethyst Wizard and Toddy are coming in, but the Flayers have gotten in, and if Arrow's micro's on point, he's going to be able to run right through into the Huntsman and really get on those juicy targets. Now, in the meantime, the Goon Squad's going to be flying overhead, it looks like. Yeah, they're coming this way, and it looks like they're going to be beelining probably for the Flayers of the Doom Wheel, I would imagine. But, I mean, if they're going after the Doom Wheel, that's certainly better than Arrow losing his Lord here. So the first Manticore summon is going to be dropped for the Empire, which is going to be quite good. Rat Ogres have been pulled into the Swordsman, which is solid, so he pulls back the Skaven Slaves. Slingers, I think, need to be focusing here on the Ember Wizard, and yeah, he needs to be careful. This Grey Seer is going to get karate chopped by Boris if he's not careful. So basically just pull back into the Rat Ogres is what he needs to do at this point. And in the back line, yeah, you can see the Flayers are just going straight up Lawnmower, just running over Huntsman here. This is a huge value pick here for Aerocrastic. And if the other Flayers can get over there and take out the other Huntsman, that's going to be really juicy. In the meantime, though, Subutai going in for a gooning attempt. Oh, no! And look at this! The Ember Wizard gets trapped, so Aerocrastic pins that guy in with his Rat Ogres, who are blessed with filth, so it's poisoned. And losing an Ember Wizard that early is brutal. And if Aerocrastic is able to finish it and it doesn't escape, that's going to be catastrophic because he won't get a second Manticore Summit. However, Subutai does respond very well. He pulls in the Empire Knights, he charges downhill, and it looks like the Amber Wizard is going to be freed up. So, very nice pick by Arrow. I mean, breaking that guy early is a huge boon. It gets rid of terror, it gets rid of a hard hitter, and makes things a lot easier. Now in the back line, you can see some Clan Rats have gotten in, and they're probably going to be breaking past these Spearmen. The Flayers were able to finish off one group of Huntsmen, and now they're going to be going for the other Huntsmen. So look at this. They're just getting into this cookie jar. These Skaven Lawnmowers just doing great work. Up to 28 kills. Now the Bounce Fire very heavily in the favor of the Skaven. I mean, this Bell is screaming, it's juking, and it is relatively safe so far. So here comes Boris. Boris going to be jumping in, going in for the Alpha Strike against the Grey Seer, but the Grey Seer is just cackling on its Bell, fighting back, and the Rat Ogres are going to be surging up the high ground to actually pin in Boris, which you might actually want to get away. There's also an Assassin here. The Assassin could use Trophy Heads, and he has, and now you can see Toddy needs to run. I mean, there's a lot of Skaven pressure. Rat Ogres, Assassins, just all sorts of foul, machinations here of the Skaven Empire. Things are looking a little bit scary. And aside from the leadership situation not going too well for Subutai, you can also see in the back line, Arrow's Flayers are just having a field day. I mean, they're running around rampant, they're just running over Flagellants, they're running over Huntsmen, just getting so much value. And the Empire front line is basically buckling on most fronts here. So if we look, the Screaming Bell here is going to be just ramming into these Spearmen who are going to be coming in for Sigmar. Toddy's getting chased off by a Doom Wheel. And yeah, I don't see a way for the Empire to really get back in this game unless they get a really, really solid gooning on that Skaven Lord and just manage to kind of isolate him somehow. The Empire is just so beleaguered everywhere. You have 17 Flagellants right here. Over here, you have 1 Flagellant right here. 24 Sigmar Suns, but aside from that, there's really not much left for the Empire as it pertains to sustainability. Toddy was able to heal up with his Rune Fang here, and he gets a really good jump here on the Grey Seer, so maybe, just maybe, if that Amber Wizard can come back here and help, but it looks like the Amber Wizard landed over here amongst Skaven slaves, trying to get those slingers offline, but now he's going to get rammed by the frickin' Doom Flayers. Oh no, 0 leadership taking Pebbles to the back. Oh, 3 leadership, is he going to get away? Very, very tough stuff. Looks like he might be able to stabilize that Amber Wizard and get that second Manticore Summon in just a moment. So now Toddy's up in the sky. He's looking for that rat prey, but the Skaven, like I said, in pretty good shape, and now they can just move about and just pick off all the Empire troops on the ground, and from there, I don't know. Toddy has to just put this entire game on his back. Entire game. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to go. Well, here comes Boris Todbringer, swooping down. Here he comes for the kill. Aerocrastic on his Screaming Bell is going to be able to juke, and he has a ton of Rat Ogres. Rat Ogres, of course, especially with the Unholy Clamor, are going to be quite energized here. They're only tired, actually, at this point in the battle, so that's pretty good. Spirit Leech going down as well in the Grey Seer. Spirit Leech is going to be doing some juicy damage there, but yeah, I mean, maybe Subutai should have delayed the main fight a little bit longer. He needed to stop those Flayers from getting into his backline too. Those things just did so much work. So here comes another Assassin. Trophy Heads is active here on Toddy. So Toddy's going to be getting shanked by an Assassin, as well as his Rat Ogres, and a Doom Wheel's going to be coming in, just ramming him right in the rear. Yeah, he's not going to be enjoying that, that's for sure. And also on top of that, the Amethyst Wizard has landed, but here's an opportunity for the Amber Boy. Here he comes. He's going to be going after this Grey Seer, which does only have 2100 HP. So here it comes. Big Bird gets in there, and he makes contact. 1700 here on the Grey Seer, but yeah, I mean, Toddy going down here, it's game over at that point. So, well played. Well played. So Aerocrastic coming back from, dropping the first game and winning with a 2-0 reverse sweep. Very, very good stuff. So Arrow will be moving on to the grand finals. So let's go ahead and set that up here. The grand finals for today, to face the winner of Zablasky and Flying Taco. So very well played to Subutai. He played some great games as well. And as a matter of fact, yeah, he took that first game. I mean, really, really good stuff. Well played. Arrow Caustic says he's found this matchup to be quite hard for the Empire. So Arrow, see you in finals. Very well played, Subutai. He played great. He played great. That was a fun series for sure. Yeah, Toddy couldn't take it. He could not take it. Anytime, man. All right, so now Zablasky and Flying Taco, if you guys are in chat, please join up. I'm going to be opening up these slots here. Oh, perfect. He already did it. He's quick to the draw, so let me go ahead and invite these guys. And yeah, now we'll go back to the local screen here. Boom. Perfect. Joris, thank you for the donation. He says, tiramisu and classic Turin show. Nice, dude. Nice, man. Thank you so much for the $10 or $11, I think is what I saw. Hopefully you're enjoying the Turin show as well as your tiramisu, which I haven't had that in forever. All right. So let me go ahead and invite these guys. I'm pretty sure they're on my friends list. It's really dumb how my friends list is like, you have those like heavy limitations. Like you can only have so many people. I mean, I guess they do that to like stop bots from being really obnoxious and things like that. So let me go ahead and tag them in Discord. And Taco. Great. So we got Zablasky in here, and now it's time to get the glorious Flying Taco. Here he comes. Well, Steven, you know, that's kind of on the back burner for now. Like, because I'm traveling for Ever Chosen next week. I'm going to be gone for a lot of December, so it probably won't be till like middle of next year or something. Yeah. So let me get the map set. And we know where Zablasky is, so we can put him here. Flying Taco. Reset the scoreboards. This is where it's nice to have someone helping you, so that like you don't have to do this stuff while you're casting. Alrighty, there you go. And yeah, was there something else? Yes, I was looking for the maps. So we have Alpine Ridge for the first one, which is a fun map. One of my favorites, actually. Alpine Ridge is like one of my early memories of Warhammer, because it was a very early map. So getting to play on that, like that, having that ridge battle, oh, so many good battles, just skirmishing on the hills. So you start, pick, and double ban. Jonathan Tyndall says, I watch your videos every day. Nothing better than coming home after work Friday and watching ECL. Right on, man. Jonathan, I'm glad to hear that, man. Glad you're enjoying it. Taco needs another invite. Okay. And Taco, you should be able to see the game as well if you're logged on. But let me invite you again, brother. No problemo. There you go. Invite sent. Let's see if it works. He's here. Okay, Zeba, pick and double ban, then alternate. All right, guys, we're here with our second best of 3 of the day. We have Flying Taco facing off against Zablasky. Going to be quite a bit of fun. Ricidemos. No, thank you. No, thank you, man. What campaign do you think has the best mechanics? I'm torn between Norska, Tomb Kings, and perhaps Bretonnia. You know, Tal Memorin, my favorite campaign I've ever played, there's 2 of them. It's a tie. My 2 favorite campaigns are Vampire Coast with Luther Harkin, and then the Empire with Karl Franz. The Franz campaign is so good. I just loved the whole system, and like it with the forts now, and oh man, there's so many fun things going on. Yeah. So okay. So Zablasky goes, oh, look at that. So Zablasky goes Wood Elves and he bans High Elves and Empire. And then Flying Taco comes in with the Steel Bretonnian Chair. Man, this is going to be fun. Now, there are some forests on this map, so they need to be aware that Zablasky could just take up in the forest and skirmish. So that is something you need to take into account here. Frankie Frank, yeah, I saw your donation, as a matter of fact. I shouted it out a couple minutes ago. So yeah, thank you so much, man. Again, I will keep up the good work in your honor. And we have another donation coming in from Joris on PayPal for 10 euros. And let me pull those up, because for some reason the messages don't always come up when those... I have to like go to this website. Hold on. God, what the hell is that called? I just want to make sure I answer all your questions here. You know, I really wish I could play like my music on streams. Like in between, in the downtime here. It'd be so good. There's a song that I've just had stuck in my head like nonstop, which is it's by Hall & Oates. It's Out of Touch. I literally can't get it out of my head. It's just it's insane. It is insane. Yeah, Frankie Frank, I see it. It says good games, Turin, keep it up. Will do. And then we have Joris with the tiramisu and classic Turin show. Man, right on, dudes. Right on, man. We're doing it. We're doing it. I wish Grimgor could ride a pig. Yes. If Grimgor could ride a giant warhog, that would be like the coolest thing on the planet. So we have Wood Elves versus Bretonnia, which is a fun one. And it's actually one that does happen quite a bit in campaign as well. I mean, they start right next to each other, so you're always in this kind of a bit of a cockfight, as they say. So Zablasky, of course, is known as a very, very good Wood Elf player. So I'm quite... And Taco is an extremely good Bretonnian player. So I'm really excited to kind of see how Zablasky's going to deal with this, which many people consider to be a tough matchup for the Wood Elves, you know, because Bretonnia can bum rush them. They can catch the archers with a bunch of cheap cav. But, you know, something that we saw, actually, in the last Eternal Challenger League, everyone was saying, oh, you know, everyone's going to beat Xiphos' Wood Elves. Everyone's going to beat them with Bretonnia. And I think like 3 or 4 people brought Bretonnia against his Wood Elves, and they lost every single time. Like, he was so masterful at picking them apart. It was incredible to see. So I'm interested to see if we're going to see a bit of a repeat of that, or if it's going to be, you know, the Bretonnian Crusade coming in and going hard. Yeah. Grimgor riding Kolak would be great. Yeah, that would be really fun. Yeah, the 80s music's amazing. I listen, oh man, I love Tears for Fears. Hall & Oates is really good. Van Halen. I'm a big Van Halen fan. AC/DC. Yeah, there's it goes for days. Grimgor should just get his Immortals as a mount. So like the Immortals could carry Grimgor like on like a throne, like how High King Thorgrim's carried. There's gonna be 100% a Pravenoth Rayma, I would imagine. Ready up. So we just need his Zablasky to ready up. And then we're good to go. On Alpine Ridge. Grimgor riding Setcher, riding a Sphinx. Zypho says, I wonder if Zablasky also does this. I think he'll bring 2-way watchers. Just 2, you think? Not 3? How do we fare against Beastmen? Tyler, with which faction? Yeah, Frostlight, I played 3 Kingdoms. I didn't enjoy it that much. It's a good game, but it's just not for me. Like, I prefer games that, like, where the battle is the best part of it. And, like, the battles in 3 Kingdoms aren't that great. The campaign is good, but the battles are just kind of lacking for me. Judas Priest, Barbara. Yeah. Judas Priest isn't bad. I've never listened to him that much, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of like most 80s music and 90s. Like Soundgarden, Audioslave, Alice in Chains, early Foo Fighters I really liked quite a bit. I love Nine Inch Nails. Metallica's 90s stuff wasn't great, but I love their 80s stuff like Ride the Lightning and Justice for All. That's like my favorite. Audioslave and Soundgarden, oh, so good. Five-way watchers is the only way to play, says Magnum Knights. We'll find out about that, dude. find out. Let's see, what have I been listening to? Yeah, a lot of 80s for sure. Yeah, I was like jamming out to Hall & Oates last night. Because like once you listen to the song Out of Touch by Hall & Oates, it'll be stuck in your head for like weeks. Like there's no escape. Hey, Gubin Med Barton, there's no problem with that, dude. Completely fair. It's good stuff. Yeah, I'm 31 years old, Todd, so that would explain our shared interest in music. Alice in Chains is so good. I think one of my favorite songs of all time is Rooster. That song is so freaking good. Like every time I hear it, it just puts me into like a profound state of thought where I'm just like contemplating my life. Like, yeah, man, shit. So Comic Mania, you just use the shift button. Like you hold down shift, you click the spell, and then yeah. That's that. Rooster, if you guys want to listen to like a really good song by Alice in Chains, listen to Rooster and Man in the Box. Those are like their two bigger songs, but Rooster is my favorite one. For Soundgarden, Fell on Black Days is probably my favorite song. But anyways, I got to get back to this. I could ramble all day about this stuff. Purple sun, won't you come? All right, guys. So for Zablasky, he's got a pretty mean Air Force, and this is kind of what I expected from him. Because what a lot of Wood Elf players do against the face of insurmountable odds of Cav is they basically just kind of like hide most of their army in the trees and then just do some light harass here with the Hawk Rider. So he does, of course, have a Glade Lord here with the Pravenoth Rema, 2 Hawk Riders as well. And Hawk Riders have some interesting dual purpose against Bretonnia. They actually have really good AP and offensive stats. So if they're able to like rear charge some Bretonnia Knights who are fighting like War Dancers or something, they can do a ton of damage. So 2 Hawk Riders plus a Glade Lord, and the rest of his army is going to be not the tankiest. He does have a Spell Singer, War Dancers, 2 groups of Dryads, and War Dancers with Azrai Spears, and the Wild Hunters of Kurnus for Guardians. So yeah, very much like a defensive, like just trying to survive the Wrath of Bretonnia. Now, oh, I love this by Taco. This is really good. The fact that he brought all of these Peasant Bowmen is huge, because now if he advances on the Wood Elves who are hiding in the forest, like they can't hide there. They're going to be taking bow fire, and even with trees, War Dancers will get melted by Peasant Archers very, very quickly. So that's a great pick as well. So a ton of archers here. In the front line, it's going to be spears, which is standard peasant mobs. A lot of calves, so Knights of the Realm across the board. Grail Knights as well, and Knights of the Lionhearted. Very cool. So the Grail Knights, yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing those guys. There's no Way Watchers to focus them down for sure, and the bows should be able to force the woodies out of the trees. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Very, very different than how we saw Zyphos play against Bretonnia, but certainly I think both builds have some teeth for sure. So Forest Dragon and Hawk Riders are going to be coming in here. They could start just chasing down Lewin if they want to, but I don't think they can afford to because of all the Peasant Bowman fire. So both players are going to be advancing over the hill, and it looks like Flying Taco might be falling back a little bit, which is interesting. Or maybe he's just squaring up his army, a little bit hard to say. But I mean, as long as the Hawk Riders are attacking and shooting their ammunition here, then it does count as attacking, obviously, in accordance with the rules of our tournament. So I'm surprised he's not advancing. It looks like he's going to be farming a firing line and trying to counter shoot here. So the Peasant Bowmen are going to shoot, but Zablasky's like, he's one of those like obviously savvy tournament guys who knows like he can just dodge those shots pretty easily and get the real estate where he needs it. So I think advancing with the Bretonnian army would be a little bit better than trying to kind of sit here and endure the firepower. Granted, I mean, a lot of the ammunition here from the Hawk Riders is going into like peasant mobs and kind of cheap chaffy units. So here comes a Pravenoth Rema going down already. Oh, it's for a breath attack. So he's going to pray. And then here comes a breath attack from the Glade Lords. The Glade Lord's going to be dropping a juicy breath attack. Oh, and they were lined up sideways too. Ooh, that was painful. But again, it is a Pravenoth Rema gone, which is one less that the Cav have to deal with, which is quite nice. And you can see Lewin's thinking about going in there for sure. And now I think the Bretonnians at this point get the message that they need to advance. Although he's getting some okay damage actually on the Glade Lord. He's taking some work, and maybe attacking with Lewin wouldn't be a bad idea because you could simply fall back to archers. But so that's one group of peasant archers that's gone. You can see here, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had 5 in total, and those guys might actually come back, believe it or not. But yeah, he's wasting a lot of ammo here of the Bretonnians, so I think they need to advance for sure. Lewin could probably go after some isolated targets, try and get like free charges on the dragon because he does have free healing himself. Ooh, Taco needs to be careful. Oh no, he needs to watch out. Taco, run! Run, Lewin! He pops Foe Seeker, and it looks like he's just barely going to get away. A huge onslaught comes in, actually. And a matter of fact, some serious aggression from the Hawk Riders, but Lewin is able to get away, and he might be pulling some of these guys into the firepower of the Peasant Archers. Oh, that's some good damage! Sword of Chrome popped as well, and suddenly we have the Glade Lord taking a little bit of work. Lewin should stay hot on his tail, but it looks like he's going to be bouncing over. The King of Bretonnia taking no shits. Like, no shits. He's just bouncing back and forth, just fighting these guys, but I think he needs to pull back now. This is getting a little bit dangerous. Lewin is, he does have the Lion Shield, which is going to help, actually, because the Forest Dragons do magic damage, so he's going to have 44%, plus he has Shield of Thorns, so he's very, very tanky now. And, this isn't bad. He's actually forcing I mean, assuming he can come out of this kind of ahead and take out some Hawk Riders, Lewin is just tanking like an absolute champion. Look at him. And the Hawk Riders and the Forest Dragons are just taking a lot of firepower, a lot of damage coming down to the Wood Elf army. And it looks like another Earthblood's going to be going down as well. So yeah, just kiting at this point I think is smart. But I think focusing the Hawk Riders is the right choice. I'm not sure if he's shooting the Hawk Riders because you can get so many kills on them with the bows. They're lightly armored. Cravenoth Rama has been popped. Lewin's ambitions may have kind of overstretched his capabilities here. He needs to advance. Like, if he could engage his Wood Elf army, he could run them over, like, easily with this force. And if Lewin had just kind of been... He had some really good initial strikes, but I think he overstayed his welcome a little bit too long. And what's going to happen now is Zablasky is going to chase him off the battlefield. And from there, the Bretonnians are going to have to fight without their king. Granted, they have gotten some okay damage. The Forest Dragon's at half health. This guy's, pretty low himself. And the Bretonnians need to advance, like, at this point, like, 100%. Going to be dropping an Earthblood to try and save Lewin, but it's not going to be possible with the Hawk Riders chasing him. And both Cravenoth Ramas are gone, so it's certainly still a game that Bretonnia has a chance in, despite the fact that Lewin... Lewin might actually come back if he lets him create separation. That would be catastrophic for the Wood Elves. Like, if Lewin could stabilize somehow and come back and get back around the army, that would be really big. Yeah, Lewin's pretty much toast. That was a big mistake. That didn't need to happen. Lewin could have gotten away, or at least, like, just kited back a little bit. It was a good initial engagement when he isolated the Forest Dragon and was getting some good blows with the fisticuffs, but from there he probably should have fell back. Pegasus Knights would have been interesting to see here, but yeah, the Bretonnians need to advance. I mean, the Wood Elves are clearly hiding somewhere on this side of the battlefield, so pushing over there is going to be smart. But the Wood Elves will eventually have to come out. When the Hawk Riders run out of ammo and different things like that, it is going to be, a pretty big deal. So Hawk Riders chasing off Lewin, but Lewin's like taking that long circuitous route. Oh, he might come back here if Lasky's not careful. Lewin is a clever one. There we go. There we go. Here it goes. Here goes King Lewin. Off the battlefield we go. Oh, they're just saying good luck, have fun. Okay, I was wondering if they had any rules questions. The one Forest Dragon's pretty low, and I think there's still a Spellsinger with life here that's in pretty good shape. So I would imagine he still has ample healing. And look how the bounce of power is actually not that bad for the Bretonnians. Like, it's really not terrible. There's still a ton of knights left, and it's like I said, even though Lewin's gone, it's still not over. But the Bretonnians need to move. They need to push forward and get over the hill and start, pressuring the Wood Elves in their territory. Like, that entire time, Lewin could have been kiting, and they could have advanced on this army. They could have been scouting with their cav. Like, Knights of the Realm could have gone over there and looked. There's many things the Bretonnians could have done, I think. But anyways, right here you can see all the peasant bowmen. Oh, the dragon's actually shaken. If he could break the dragon, that would be pretty big, because then he could follow it on the ground with some of his infantry. A nice breath attack coming in from that Glade Lord right there. And here comes another shot. Volley's coming in. Forest Dragon is shaken, actually. 9 leadership. Are Forest Dragons weak to fire? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think they have like some weird special rule that makes them weak to fire, but Zablasky's dragons are definitely getting a little bit low. Oh, and a big volley right to the face there. Wavering on the dragon, 1200 HP. Now, as far as the dragon's cost, I mean, it costs a little bit less than Lewin, but the damage has been done. Hawk Riders are taking some work. It looks like a big old heal's going to be going down, and an Earthblood as well from the Bretonnians. Is it going to break? No way. That would be insane. I mean, he's baiting out the regrowths and the heals, which is good. So he's getting those out of the way a little bit early. And eventually they will have to come deal with the knights and things like that. So the peasant archers are shooting quite happily. And a big old volley coming into that dragon right there, but nice juking by Zablasky here. Yeah, dragons will die quickly against knights. He needs the hawks to kill him. Yeah, Hawk Riders do have good AP. And this is nice, because he's able to push off some of these peasant archers, so he can now, go after those guys. There is a healing cap coming up here for the Forest Dragon as well, and that breath attack was okay. Yeah, it took out those peasant bowmen, so certainly not bad. Yeah, the knights could be scouting, they could be pressuring, like, there's so much they could be doing. I think, like, even if they scout, if a dragon attacks them, Knights of the Realm are more than capable of fighting off the Forest Dragon, or at least doing some good damage to it. Some light firepower going into those Hawk Riders over there. Bounce of power is actually, like, not as bad as you'd think, despite the fact that the Bretonnians have lost a lot. Yeah, a little bit tricky. Archers are low on ammo. You can see here we do have the peasant bowmen here. They have about 6 volleys left. These ones are pretty low as well. And the problem with that is now the freaking, these guys here are going to be able to kind of hang out and not be forced out due to the peasant bowman fire. Like, the peasant bowman fire would have been so good against those guys in the trees. And the Hawk Riders flying overhead, chasing off peasant bowman is smart. Yeah, he needs to be more careful with his ammo. I think that's really going to hurt him. Zablasky's doing okay on ammo as well. He's got plenty on this Glade Lord for sure. Yeah, Paladins, I actually am a fan of double flying Paladin. Sometimes if you have the Fey Enchantress, but if you have King Lewin, you can't really do that. But having Lewin with a Paladin, they might have been able to actually endure and maybe win some of those aerial engagements had he had a Paladin. So now Bretonnia's going to be advancing. Obviously, they need to push forward, realizing that this game it's not going to be a game they'll win. Although Peasants get one last salvo off, which should do some okay damage against those Hawk Riders. And the Wood Elves are probably almost out of healing as well. Something else to kind of take into account. Forest Dragon's going to be landing here. Oh, it lands amongst Grail Knights. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh man, the Grail Knights might be able to pin in this Forest Dragon. Oh, that's a pretty big pick. He was trying to charge the damsel, but I think he made a mistake. If the Grail Knights are microed effectively and maybe pushed up and past the dragon... Oh, no, that's not good. That dragon's wavering. So here comes the Glade Lord. The Knights of the Realm can get a sandwich here. So if this group of the Knights of the Realm charges here and the other one charges in... Man, Zablasky just gave Flying Taco way back into this game. Like 100%. That was a really greedy charge right there. And the freaking Forest Dragon's getting pushed off. Oh my god, and the Bounce Power goes back into the favor of Bretonnia, and the freaking Glade Lord is surrounded by Knights of the Lionhearted, and he's broken. Yeah, Flying Taco needs to capitalize ASAP. He needs to get these Knights of the Realm, he needs to get these other troops and slam in there. So guys, the Grail Knights have shattered the dragon, so the Forest Dragon is fallen. What a crazy comeback. And Zablasty's Glade Lord is at -1 HP, or -1 leadership. Oh my god. That's insanity. Looks like a misclick. Oh my god. Well, that's all it takes, right? And now the Bretonians, with a sense of purpose once again, are going to be surging forth to meet the Wood Elf army. So now everything is laid before them. They can see everything. And losing a Forest Dragon plus this Glade Lord being at like 1% is pretty catastrophic. That's pretty catastrophic. Oh my god, that was brutal. It's just all it takes is one misclick. So now the Wood Elves, of course, realizing that these are dire times, they're going to be running back to the trees. They're like, flee back to the forest. Oh, man. You can just hear the no from Zablasky's apartment. No. Oh, my God. He could still win this. Zablasky can still win this, for sure. Lewin's gone. He probably has some healing to get his dragon back up. But, man, that was brutal. I can't believe you've done this. If Taco had maybe pulled the other knights over that he had in reserve a little bit quicker, I think he could have killed that Glade Lord. For sure. Hawk Riders are shooting. The Bretonians playing a very patient game, now realizing that they're the captain now. Flying Taco's like, I am the captain now. He's going to be getting his forces together and advancing on the Wood Elf position here in the forest. Hawk Riders shooting, but, you know, I mean, get some okay value against Knights of the Lionhearted. Not bad for sure. Lich109, thank you for the donation. Sometimes it's not about who plays best, but who plays the least badly. Yeah, you know, that's true, I suppose. And here comes the Glade Lord circling about. A little bit of lag as the players do their thing. And the Hawk Riders are shooting in. Don't you kind of disconnect on me, you guys. I swear. Don't make me deal with the awkwardness of trying to figure that out. It's horrible. Because this is a really even game still. Like, Lewin's gone. If the Glade Lord gets healed up, it's going to normalize the bounce of power for sure. Here comes an Earthblood. Nice Earthblood right there. It's able to hit a couple troops. I don't know if there's any better value he could have gotten. Those Grail Knights are going to be hard to deal with too, though. Man. There's no, like, Pravenoth Rayma Focus Fire. And as a matter of fact, there's no Pravenoth Raymas left at all. Yeah. There's nothing left at all in that respect. So Peasant Archer's going to be shooting in once again, going after the dragon. And again, I really think they should be shooting against War Dancers in the forest. War Dancers are going to be a little bit tricky, but Grail Knights and Knights of the Realm can lance them down pretty efficiently. Zablasky with some good jukes right here. The Bretonian's playing a really patient game. Really, really patient. I think he's just trying to wait out the ammunition because in accordance with the rules of our tournament, if Zablasky runs out of ammo, then he has to engage as well. Like, he has to pull out his main army and fight. So he won't be able to, like, sit in the trees and things like that. He'd have to do it. The lag is due to reality itself struggling to cope with what just happened. Some people in chat theorizing that it was not a misclick and perhaps it was a little bit greedy. Well, I don't know. I think the first one was a misclick for sure, the Forest Dragon. The other one, I think he was trying to goon the Lord, but the first one was a misclick, the Forest Dragon for sure. And sometimes when you make one big mistake, you'll make like another big like play to try and compensate for that. So yeah, it's hard to say. So the forces lurk. Zablasky's dragon flies overhead. Hawk Riders shooting into the Knights of the Lionhearted here. Peasants unleashing a salvo of fire, making some okay contact here against the Glade Lord up in the sky. And here comes the forces of Bretonnia. So the men-at-arms, spearmen-at-arms, going to be moving forward, as they pretty much have to. And the dragon's getting lower and lower. This Wood Elf army is going to be hard to deal with, though. 100%. And the Hawk Riders are almost out of ammo. The dragon is saving ammo as well. Yeah, they're almost out. I mean, focusing the peasants, yeah, focusing the knights is the way to go, for sure, because the peasants are going to be kind of useless without their ammo here. And the Bretonians, I mean, this is going to be a hard fight in the forest. The Azrai Spears are going to be tricky to deal with. Very, very tricky. Here comes more shots from the Hawk Riders shooting downtown. It looks like they're maybe trying to snipe the damsel, which isn't a bad idea. If the Glade Lord and the Hawk Riders start shooting the damsel, that could be some decent damage. Another Earthblood coming in. She does not hit herself, which is unfortunate, but she does hit the Knights of the Lionhearted. Grail Knights are doing their thing. Looks like they're just going to be falling back, waiting to kind of countercharge. Hawk Riders are about out of ammo, though. They have like one volley left, so that's going to be, you know, changing up the dynamics here quite substantially. So here comes the first volley. Oh, not first volley, but one of the last volleys from the Hawk Riders. Peasant Bowmen are now shooting in, but man, they should have been going after these War Dancers. Like, the Azrai Spears would have been such good targets. Yeah, the Dragon was able to heal up quite well, which gets Zablasky potentially back in the game. So now here come the War Dancers, who are going to be surging out of the trees, and the Bretonnian Knights are going to just erect Grail Knight charge right into these guys, which is going to be great, because Dryads have a physical resist, so magic damage coming in from Grail Knights is going to do a bunch of, you know, juicy damage to them. So right there, some damage is taken, but the Wild Hunters of Kurnus coming in, so Zablasky with a good counterpunch here. The Glade Lord getting in there, Wild Hunters of Kurnus with their anti-large getting in, and a Hawk Rider sandwich! So the Hawk Riders get a nice rear charge, so Taco does respond with the Shield of Thorns. So Shield of Thorns here is going to be giving them physical resist plus Earthblood, so really nice stuff. Although I think the Earthblood was for the Widows, yeah, so just the Shield of Thorns there for the Bretonnian Knights. In the meantime, though, you can see that the War Dancers are actually holding up really well. I mean, I think that Zablasky was able to get the better engagement there. He sandwiched the Grail Knights, Knights of the Realm, and it's looking a little bit tricky. Bretonnians do have a bunch of like Haggard Spears and stuff like that, but there's also War Dancers with Azrai Spears here that are going to be supporting this formation. Yeah, the Grail Knights are actually broken off, so I think Zablasky may have somehow fought his way back into this game, which is pretty impressive considering that huge misplay you had. So here, Knights of the Lionheart are going to be pulling back. Peasant Archers are going to be getting into melee combat, which is always unfortunate, and the Damsel needs to fall back as well. And yeah, you can see the Wood Elves, the Azrai Spears and the War Dancers are just cleaving through just these peasants, I mean, en masse. As far as kills, they're up to 69, that's what she said. So definitely pretty good in that respect. Now, there are some reserves here for Flying Taco. He does, of course, have the Knights of the Realm, who are going to be countercharging these Wild Hunters, who are at the tail end of a regrowth, so they're still going to be durable against that. And it's still a game that Taco can win, but I think it's going to be less probable now that the Glade Lord was able to heal up. And yeah, if Taco had been able to just grab that Glade Lord when he was running after that misplay, that could have been pretty big. Damsel's charging in, going after the Glade Lord here, which is a really good choice. Knights of the Realm still fighting, and Knights of the Lionhearted will provide an encouragement aura, which should be quite useful, but there's just so many Azrai Spears, and I don't know if Bretonnia has like the stuff to deal with the infantry here. I think the War Dancers and the Azrai Spears and the Dryads, they're all holding really firm, and Hawk Riders are coming back in as well after having chased off the Grail Knights here. But look at this, Flying Taco with a nice flank. He actually pulls the Knights of the Lionhearted up and around and gets a rear charge here, actually pinning in the Wood Elves a little bit. So very close battle. So the Glade Lord here is actually getting beaten down by the Damsel. The Damsel is not distressed. She is distressing this Glade Lord here, and maybe, just maybe, the Bretonnians might pull back this fight if they're able to goon this guy out. But oh man, that's going to be hard to say. The Damsel needs to get away now because that dragon looks quite pissed off. No ammunition left on any of the Peasant Archers. And the Hawk Riders are broken as well. Both armies are pretty much in tatters, but I think the Wood Elves are coming out ahead after all is said and done. The War Dancers here just chasing off peasants. They're up to a freaking 134 kills. I mean, they're designed to kill these type of troops. Like, designed to kill chaff. And yeah, the Men-at-Arms are going to be losing to Dryads as well. Bretonnia pretty much losing on most fronts here at this point. The Damsel is making a last stand here. She is now in distress, and she's going to be fighting a dragon who's also supported by anti-large spears. So she's probably going to be breaking. Dragon's going to get back up. Maybe has another breath attack. I'm not sure if he used all of those. He might have one more left. That uplift there looks a little bit suspicious. Looks very much like a breath attack. So Wild Hunters of Kurnus charging in to the Knights of the Realm, who get a nice level charge there, supported by the Knights of the Lionhearted. But the Dragon, of course, is nearby, and the Wood Elves have spears supporting. So the spear support is going to be very strong, and I don't know how that's going to go. So yeah, I think at this point, the Bretonnians are going to be falling to the Wood Elves, for sure. A couple of misplays on both sides. For the Bretonnians, I think not advancing early was a huge mistake, and obviously the Lewin situation. The Lewin play was really good. Taco had some amazing Lewin play initially, where he got a couple picks, got some free damage, but I think he overstayed his welcome a little bit. And for Zablasky, obviously we did see the mistake, but he was able to remain calm and come back from that, which was quite impressive. So, I mean, maybe. I don't think so. I think the Bounce of Power's pretty much getting to that point of no return, and also it depends on, if you just look at what's left on the battlefield, everything's going to be shattering. So, well played. Well played. She is now in distress. Yes, 100%. Well played, well played. Good sportsmanship all around. I love it. I love it. We're doing it to it. Yeah, a couple things. There was some variables, but it was still a fun battle for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and update that. Scoreboard. Zablasky here with the first victory. And Flying Taco on the ropes, but certainly not out. So let's go ahead and get the next map here. Next map is going to be the Iron Sand Desert. Not the best map for elves, because there's nowhere to hide, really. Iron Sand Desert. Where art thou? I'm looking for you. It's a-coming. No, there we go. Okay. Zablasky says, it all went from sure victory to, oh god, I'm so done in one dragon landing. So, Taco, pick, and double ban. Then go time. All right. Bubba's Big Blast says, I don't know how to, I'm not even going to try and read that, so my apologies. But Bubba, thank you for the $5. Much appreciated. The surest way for a game to end up with a major upset seems to be for chat to start saying the battle's over. It would seem so. It seems like that is a recurring variable, doesn't it? Zypho says, I'm gone a second, the Wood Elves win. Dude, it's your curse, man. Yeah, Royal Pegasus Knights would have won that battle pretty hard, for sure. Morden, you know, I don't know where the Oaken Shield is. Yeah, that's a good question. That was a very weird battle, man. That was very weird. So, he bans Counts and Coast. I'm surprised he didn't ban an Elf, knowing what Zablasky likes to play. But Zablasky does play Vampire Coast as well. Oh! Zablasky says we ride for the lady. So we got Bretonia again, facing off against Beastmen. This is a really fun matchup. This is one of my favorites. I'm really excited for this. Especially on this map. It's like, there's no games, there's no schemes. It's just like a fisticuffs duel. Noob Gamer, sure, man. Shoot me a message on Discord. Shoot me a message on the Discord. What's up, guys? Alrighty. Something smells funny. I don't know what that is. I think Wookiee may have left me a treat somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. Wookiee, did you leave a treat in the room? I thought Beastmen were bad. No, Beastmen are not bad. Beastmen are not bad at all. They do work. They're a bit of a tricky faction to play. A little bit of a finesse because a lot of their stuff's very squishy. But if you're good at them and good at swarming and microing a lot of aggressive units, I think Beastmen can be a very strong faction. Knights of the Realm are very good against Beastmen. They deal with Razorgore herds and they deal with Centaurs relatively efficiently. But again, I mean, bringing a wild Cygor is pretty good. Cygors can bomb the archers and the cav, and especially the Eye of Morsley, but the Warp Gaze to lock things in place. A lot can be gained from that, for sure. What source am I looking for, Misha? Oh, yeah, Wookiee. Wookiee is a beastman for sure. Wookiee is an absolute beastman. And as he's gotten older, so Wookiee's like almost 14 or 15 now. He's very, very old, and he doesn't like even, you know, like if typically like if you have a dog and it needs to use the restroom, it'll like kind of like, you know, give you some sort of a hint, right? It'll bark, it'll go to the door. It'll do something like that. But Wookiee in his older years, he just doesn't care. He just like lays in his bed and just like, there you go, clean it up. Or like he'll just walk like where you're working and just right next to your feet and walk away. It's just like, or he'll walk right, like the door will be open, right? To the backyard where he usually goes. And he'll walk up to the threshold. He'll do his business there and then he'll go back to bed. He won't even bother going outside, even though he could have, you know? Something's very sinister about that beast. What faction do I want to see next? Are you talking about for DLC or for like Game 3 stuff? Yeah, Everchosen Invitational is going to be on the 19th and 20th. Yeah, so next weekend. I really just want to see all the Chaos factions fleshed out, like Warriors of Chaos and Chaos God Demons and stuff. Kislev I would really like to see as well. Weakest faction? I think the faction that has the most bad matchups, I don't know. It's hard to say. Dwarves have a lot of bad matchups, but they also have some really good ones. They're kind of like an extreme. They have extremes, right? Like they're really good against some, but really terrible against others. So it's kind of like, you can't really call them the worst per se, but they have a lot of bad matchups. I don't know. It depends on the variable you're using to kind of take that into account. So let the players know to start when ready. Alrighty. Hey, Arnab, you're welcome, man. Oh my god, I played a 40k game the other night, Saranska, and I played against the Iron Hands for the first time, the new Iron Hands, and goddamn, they're overpowered bullshit. Holy shit. I got wrecked so hard. It was so dumb. They literally have all the rules of the Death Guard and more, and they're just better. They just have better units. It's like, there was like literally nothing I could do. It was very frustrating. Oh, man. Do you think they'll do Nagash in Game 3? Probably. Yeah, I think so. Got it, Bubba's Big Blast. Thank you. Yeah, you know, getting Gotrek and Felix is pretty cool for dwarves as well. Yeah. Yeah, and I think things have helped dwarves. Like, the new Rune of Wrath and Ruin is pretty helpful against, like, chariots and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd have to really evaluate the worst faction. Like, who has... I don't know. It's hard to say. Let me think about that one. Raw Cauliflower, is your Death Guard army surviving the latest Space Marines power creep? No, it's not. Raw Cauliflower, my Death Guard have been getting flattened by Iron Hands nonstop. It's horrible. Iron Hands are just so broken. Oh my god. It's so dumb. Yeah, for those of you that have been loyal Iron Hands players, but I play in a competitive ITC league, and basically like half my pod that I play in, they all switched from like Eldar, other things, now they all play Iron Hands. We literally are like half of our players are Iron Hands players, just because they're so broken. And we have prizes, so everybody's trying to play with them. Yeah. Yeah, Lich 109, it's like that in 40k. But I'm actually building an Empire army in Fantasy. I have 30 handgunners in the living room. Brave Sons of Sigmar who are going to be painted. I'm going to paint them just like the Empire in Warhammer Fantasy, so it's going to be great. I get to still play my Warhammer Fantasy army, which is going to be cool. Thorin Oak, I haven't played Classic WoW, but I used to play WoW Vanilla, so I have played it. I played for many years. Anyways, guys, back to business now. So in this match, Zablasky is up 1-0 here in this series, and it looks like he's going to be doing a fairly standard Bretonnian army. So 4 Peasant Bowmen with fire arrows, going to be lighting some of the foul beasts on fire. And I think the reason he does this with fire is in case of the Butchers of Kalkengard, who are weak to fire damage. On top of that, he does have Men-at-Arms with shields in the front line with the Grail protecting them, and in support, he has Men-at-Arms with polearms. Oh, double Grail. This is a badass Bretonnian army. Look at this. You have the brave Men-at-Arms holding the front, the Grail in the middle with the halberds in the back to absorb the full charge. Very, very heavy metal build. I love it. So Peasant Archers in total, as far as Cav goes, he does have Knights Errant, Questing Knights, and Questing Knights. Interesting. So no Knights of the Realm. I was really expecting those. We do also have a Damsel with Lore of Life, and it looks like Alberic. Oh yeah, my boy. I'm playing the Alberic campaign. And he does have the Kraken's Bane, but not the Trident, which is too bad. I would have loved to see that, but the Braided Borderlow here does, not Kraken's Bane, excuse me, the Braided Borderlow. This gives a bonus first large to all nearby troops. That's really good, because you can give bonus first large to Questing Knights, which makes them pretty scary for sure against Beastmen. So, that's pretty much it. Yeah, Dov. Dude, Pistoliers are really actually quite good, and Outriders as well in the Cities of Sigmar. Yeah, they're really, really good. I have the Cities book, and I've seen them do pretty well. They are. Dov, Pistoliers are very good in Age of Sigmar, yeah. Because, and in Warhammer Fantasy, I'm just going to call it Warhammer Fantasy. I'm still in denial. But basically, Pistoliers in Warhammer Fantasy, when they charge, so they have a 9-inch range. So you can move Pistoliers, you can shoot them with their brace of pistols. You charge, and when you charge someone with Pistoliers, they get to shoot again. And then, with a certain army stratagem, you can fall back and do it again on the next turn. So you can just keep rinsing and repeating it. Fall back, shoot, charge again, shoot again. It's like crazy. Anyways, for the Beastmen army here, we have Ungor Raiders here in the front. We have Ungor Herds here. To honestly, against Bretonnia, you don't really want to invest in good infantry. Razorgore Herds are quite a solid pick. They have good mass and good AP. Now, they will lose in a vacuum against Knights, but they are pretty good against the freaking heavy cav if they have the support of some spears. We also have the Butchers of Kalkengard. We have a Spirit Leech, Morkur the Shadowgate, Pigs, and Centaurs. Yeah, great army. The one thing I would like to see would maybe be Centaurs with throwing axes, but with all the Peasant Bowmen, it wouldn't be as good. So the Cygor is going to be dropping some bows here. Here it comes, and a boom! Making some really good contact. Those Peasant Bowmen down to about 43 models. This Cygor is an absolute beast for sure. And yeah, we'll see how the Eye of Moorsleep goes. So here comes its next boulder, its next victim. Oh, this is a big old juicy blob! Oh, and it just barely misses. I mean, it gets a couple peasants, but that center mass, if it had hit like right here and got both of them, that could have been quite scary. Now, the Peasant Archers here are a very good choice. I think if those guys scoot up and start shooting at the Eye of Moorsleep, that would be a huge, huge pick for them. So here you can see, I keep confusing like which player is which, but Zablasky needs to pull forward his Knights for sure. Although maybe they're trying to stay out of range of the Eye of Moorsleep. Yeah, a little bit hard to say. So Alberic in the meantime, maybe he's going to be charging. He could do a charge here. But it looks like Zablasky is just going to be trying to waste some ammo, but he does take a pretty big volley to the face here. In the meantime, Flying Taco, a very defensive formation, just sitting with his pigs and his Minotaurs just kind of waiting. The pigs will be very useful in the front line as well. Razorgore Herds with, supporting Ungor Spears should be able to run over Men-at-Arms, but the Grails are going to keep those guys fighting for a long time. It's not going to be your usual Bretonnian army that is going to just crumple in the front line. Because of the double Grail investment, those guys are going to fight for a very long time. So I'm quite excited to see how that goes. Another Boulder going down right here, throwing into the Peasant Archers, able to make solid contact. And it looks like Alberic is actually going to be going after Morker. So he's getting that big old Pimp Claw. Nice Spirit Leech coming in from Flying Taco here, because of course Alberic cannot heal himself like Lewin can. Some Men-at-Arms are going to be fanning away from the Grail to go after the Ungor Spear, so they will be losing their buffs here. But the other Men-at-Arms are going to be charging in for the lady in the front line. And the Grail's going to be charging in. That's such an awesome sight. I love that so much. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Good stuff, good stuff. So in the meantime, you can see Morker's going to be fighting in the front line as well. The Eye of Morsleep needs to fall back for sure. Like, get back here, because if the Peasant Bowman can get a good firing concave and start taking that bad boy out, that's going to be a rough situation. But Zablasky doing a good job keeping the Grail near his troops, which I like quite a bit. But despite the Grail, this formation of Bretonnian peasants is going to get run over. There's Centaurs, there's pigs coming in. It's just going to be a critical massive offensive output coming in here that they won't be able to hold. In the center, the Beastmen were able to break part of the Bretonnian pocket, but really nice sniping here by Zablasky. He's going after the Bray Shaman. This is where the Warp Gaze from the Eye of Morsleep would be huge. So Warp Gaze is a bound ability on the Eye of Morsleep that locks things in place, and there it is. So good stuff there from Flying Taco. He's able to Warp Gaze Alberic, lock him in place, and that means his Deathcaster is going to be surviving that much longer. Now in the front line, Morker is going to be summoning some Spawn, but the Spawn are fighting against Halberds, which is good for Bretonnia, but for the most part, the Grail is, keeping them fighting, but not for much longer. This is a pretty mean onslaught for sure. Though, Zablasky, though, on the far side, if you guys look, all of these Peasant Archers are getting really good focus fire here on the Butchers of Kalkengard, who are weak to fire. So the fire damage coming in against the Butchers is going to be very, very nasty. They're going to be taking huge damage. Plus, Questing Knights and Knights Errant are fighting them, which, isn't the most ideal situation, but if Alberic comes over here and gives all these Knights their bonus versus large, that's going to be really good and tasty. So Flying Taco with a very good play as well. He's going to be falling back with the Butchers of Kalkengard. He needs to stay away there. Alberic has some good picks here. I mean, if Alberic wants to go after Minotaurs, he could start picking off models for sure, but it looks like he's going to be swooping down to go after the Deathcaster. And yeah, making some pretty good contact for sure. So Taco's got to get those moves. He's got a juke. Minotaurs coming in. Oh no, this is not good for Alberic. Is he going to be able to get away? If he gets fully trapped by Centaurs and Minotaurs, he can start taking some huge damage for sure. So if we look, the Bretonnian Knights get a nice countercharge here on the Centaurs. Those are Questing Knights with Scroll of Shielding, so they're going to just absolutely trounce these Centaurs. Those guys are going to get shreked into another dimension. But the Beastmen have broken through the front line in some areas. You can see they're doing pretty well here. Morker and company have broken through. Despite the Grail, I mean, you can only hold off so much of that onslaught. There's Spawn, Morker, just all sorts of pressure. So at this point, the Bretonnians are behind on the bounce of power. So what Zablasky needs to do is he needs to fall back, he needs to wait out the Chaos Spawn summons, kind of reform his ranks and start getting some isolations and some charges and things like that, because yeah, the Spawn are going to be pretty nasty for sure. And you can see they're going to be coming here, coming for that peasant booty. Not going to be fun for these guys. It's like, oh man, these things are so disgusting. Chaos Spawn, gee, that's really foul. Anyways, getting into those peasant bowmen, those guys will be wavering. Centaurs coming in as well. And yeah, Zablasky, the balance of power is falsely inflated. There's Spawn on the table. Alberic's still in okay shape. He's got, a fair amount of HP, and I think the Damsel's still alive, but yeah, the Bretonnians, despite the Grail, are not going to be able to hold. And the problem with the Grail fortifications falling means that the Grails, the value that you invest in the Grails, it's going to be going, right? Like, it's going to get mulched down by the Beastmen here, probably. So yeah, the Bretonnians doing the right thing here, falling back, but there's pigs on the hunt. I'm on the hunt, I'm after you. Here come the pigs. Razorgore herd, 17 and 24 models. It looks like these Knights Errant are going to get charged. They're not expecting this, and they're going to stand and face their doom like absolute champions of Bretonnia, as the Spawn and Razorgore herds are surging in to do some pretty good work here. So, balance of power going even more and more in the favor of Flying Taco, which means, guys, we're going to have a glorious Game 3. So, awesome series so far today. Even matches across the board. Yeah, the Beastmen are going to win this one. For sure. For sure. Alberic is fully surrounded. He can't get away. Like Balin in the tomb. It's kind of sad. Here it comes. Centaurs, Butchers of Kalkengard. It's going to be army losses for Zablasky here in a moment. Looks like they might be dropping the GG well played. No, not yet. He's still putting up a fight. I mean, because most of the spawn are gone, most of the summons. Oh, and you still have the frickin' Eye of Morsleep back here. His big, thick beast. This thing is going to be a pain in the ass. And the Eye of Morsleep can simply march over here and just like start stomping on things. And yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah. Well, guys. The Foul Beasts win again, yes. And Flying Taco is going to normalize this series, and we are going to Game 3. Awesome stuff. Awesome play by both players. That was a really fun game. GG indeed. And now, well played, well played. Now, so let me get the map here. I'm on the hunt, I'm after you. Angry. Peasants fail me once again. So. You two can agree on a matchup. All right. So we're going to do Angui for our last map. That was a bit of a crumpin'. That I Have More Sleep just did work. Yeah, I actually like doing Gotrek and Felix in that matchup with the Fae Enchantress. It's really nasty. Yeah. Zalady is having a rough day for sure. I like to give them the option of gentlemen's agreements. It's fun. It kind of takes some of the stress of the competitive playoff too. Bretonnia is a pretty hard faction to play for sure. By the way, guys, so this is a question while I have all of you guys here. I am building an Empire army in Warhammer Fantasy, and I'm going to be doing both. There is a play group around here who still plays old Warhammer Fantasy. I'm going to be doing that and trying to get battle reports someday, and I'm also going to be just playing with the Free Cities book. So I'm building a Warhammer Fantasy Empire army, essentially. And I wanted to see if any of you guys, I know there's a lot of Warhammer fans and, ex-Warhammer players here, I suppose, or Warhammer Fantasy players. Do any of you guys have Empire stuff that you would be willing to, sell to me? Like, I'm looking to just get my hands on some of these old models. And of course, if you give me a bargain, I'd love it. But, if not, I understand. But if you do, please let me know. Like, it's kind of hard to find a lot of the old models, and I don't, yeah. Yeah, and I don't, it's pretty expensive to buy them from Games Workshop, so. Plus, I prefer them to already be built because it's easier on my GIMP hand, so. No, there's a play group in my area that plays Warhammer Fantasy as it was. So I'm going to be playing with them too. Cool. So they're working out the matchups. I know, I'm really excited. I have 30 handgunners in the living room that... Yeah, ask around, guys. Put out the call. The clarion horn has been sounded. Will you guys answer? Yeah, so I have my 30 handgunners in the living room. They're like the old models from like the early 2000s. Yeah. So I'm going to be playing Warhammer Fantasy as well as the Free Cities, so... Hey, no, Lich 109, that's completely fair, dude. I wouldn't expect you to. Yeah, the Brave Sons of Sigmar, we're going to paint them just like we're going to paint them like Reichlanders. So they're just going to be like Altdorf colored, yeah. Dude, Vodka Cupcake, man. If you want to get rid of those Empire models, that's perfect. They're built but not painted. Dude, shoot me a message, man. I would happily purchase some of those off you. I eventually will get a steam tank. It's not in my first repertoire, but I'm going to be doing handgunners like Demogryph Knights, State Troops. Karl Franz will be in the army on Deathclaw. It's going to be badass. The Empire stuff isn't as cheap as you think on eBay. Yeah. Quotes without context. I have 30 handgunners in my living room. Yeah. Norska versus Dark Elves. Perfect. This is going to be a fun one. So pick away, my friends. They've agreed on a matchup they're both happy with. And if somebody could drop a link to Discord on here, that would be perfect. We have any mods still lurking? Much appreciated. And if anybody has those models they'd be interested to part with or sell, shoot me a message on Discord, please, and we'll chat and we'll negotiate. Battle reps will happen. It's a little bit hard in the house I live in now because the lighting's horrible, and I don't want to spend $400 on a lighting rig quite yet until I pay my taxes. but yeah. Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, no, I bought my handgunners from eBay. I got the batch of 30. They're like super haggardly painted though, so I have to strip the paint on them. they came at a price. Yeah. I'm sad we're past September. Earth, Wind, and Fire makes September for me. Yeah. Yeah, Mage, Valkyris. I'd actually be interested in dwarves as well. Like Warhammer Fantasy dwarves. I'd be interested in those, like 100%. I just want to like include. I'd love to because you can mix Empire and dwarves in the new stuff. So I would love to just throw in some dwarves with Empire. It's very thematic too. Thank you, Jav. Much appreciated, man. Oh, Misha's coming for you, Jav. She's coming. You better watch out. Yeah, no, I get taxed out the yang. It's pretty brutal in California. I mean, it's like that everywhere, to be honest. Like you really get reamed in as like an independent business owner or whatever you want to call entrepreneur. Like, so the thing is like I have my own business, right? But like I have to pay for my like all my own like benefits basically, like medical and stuff. And like they don't really care about that. Like they just so I not only that, like I get and the tax rate is like pretty rough for what I make. I mean, I don't make a lot, but like I'm just kind of in this awkward spot where it's pretty pricey. Yeah, there's going to be another ECL on Tuesday. There's going to be another ECL on Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you have those, I'd be interested. Shoot me a message on Discord, guys. No worries, guys. We're doing it. Davio turned $5. Paul Perez, what did I miss? Did I miss something? It's going to be fun. Zypho's pulling for the Dark Elves here. Interesting. Yeah, and again, if you see any cool Empire stuff on eBay, feel free to shoot it to me on Discord again. So yeah, most of you guys should have gotten the link there from Misha and Dav. So you can just direct message me on there with any like models or anything like that. Dav donated. I've been told to pay penance. Thank you, Dav. Much appreciated. Yeah. I'm going to be streaming Bertonia on Saturday, and then Sunday night there's going to be a Magic stream. I love streaming. Streaming is my favorite thing about content creation. Like there's been times where I've considered like just doing full-time streaming, just doing that and occasionally making a video, but I just love streaming so much. And if I didn't make videos as well, I could stream every single day. Like, but I think most people like the videos as well, so I'll stay to it. But I love streaming. It's so much fun. Like just chatting with you guys, it's like I feel like I'm hanging out with my friends every day, and that's been something I've really like, that you kind of lose as you grow up, right? But you kind of get to keep it here, which is great. Yeah, they're taking a long time. Are they waiting for me? No, I think one of them had to take a quick break or something. Yeah, I think one of them said 1 second, so. They're probably debating whether they want to go full chaos or not. Zyphos, my prediction is that in game... Here's my prediction for Warhammer 3. I think we're going to get Kislev, because there has to be some sort of a counterbalance to the massive amounts of chaos, like having a new, like, kind of... If it's all chaos, I think you need to have something to counterbalance that. I think we're going to get Kislev. I think we'll get Chaos Demon factions. I think that Warriors of Chaos is going to get a roster. I think Warriors of Chaos is going to get a roster that has access to lesser demons. So I think Warriors of Chaos will get like Nurglings, Bloodletters, Plague Bearers. But then I think there's going to be separate demon factions that can get the greater demons and the big stuff. They're going to be their own. So there's going to be 4 demon factions, upgraded Warriors of Chaos, Kislev, Chaos Dwarves, and Ogres. I think that's going to be the game. Maybe some of those might come in DLC, like Kislev and like Ogres, but Chaos Dwarves as well. That's my prediction. Yeah, Paul, shoot me a message on Discord, man. And then give me the link there. Yeah, Ronan, I hear you, man. It's hard. A wicked D, I love it. Round 3, fight. And speaking of wicked, Anna and I want to make a trip out to Colorado sometime. It's one of the places we're looking at moving someday is either Colorado or Oregon. We kind of want to have like a more rural country property. My lovely wife is here. She joins us. Lady Turin. Summon the elector counts. Raise the banners. Yeah, I think Game 3 is going to have like an expanded... I don't know if it'll have a new map. It might. I think it'll just... I bet you it'll just slightly expand the existing map. It'll add like Darklands and like more area in the Chaos Wastes and... But I think it might have like limited kind of campaigns, like or a special type of campaign. I have no idea really. That's probably a better question for like Lore Master of Sotek or like Italian Spartacus or something like that. All right, cool. All right, guys. So as far as the builds go, what the hell is this? Zablaski with the Dark Elves bringing the Raven's Herald, a unit that I consider to be one of the worst regiments of renown in the game. Okay, I guess he likes these guys. So he's got those. He does also have a couple Shades with dual weapons. So the Shades, of course, do have good AP value. So very good against Famir, good against Skinwolves, Mammoths, and also not bad in combat. So pretty interesting to see those guys picked. On top of that, he does have a bunch of Spears, Blackguard anchored in the center with Cold One Knights in the back, and Big Mama Marathi coming in doing my lovely wife proud. She would love this. So Zablaski with a very cool army. Shades, Ravens Heralds, man, wild times we live in. Now for the forces of Norska, we have Marauder Horsemen in the front. We have a whole battle line of Marauders, which is pretty standard, but going to struggle against those Blackguard. Skinwolves into the Sunset, Wolfric on a Mammoth, a Shaman Sorcerer with Fire, and some dogs in the back to hunt down the Shades. Now, if he's able to get these Shades captured by the Norscan Ice Wolves, that's going to be some sweet, sweet bread being buttered, for sure. Yeah. This is going to be great. Raven's Herald. I have always considered Raven's Herald to be one of the worst RORs in the entire game. As a matter of fact, I just made a list video, which is going to be... Like, look at that. They just lost like massive amount of their efficiency by losing one model. I just think they're terrible. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're like a decent thing against like Famir and Mammoths, but... Yeah, I don't know. I just made a list video, actually, in the top 5 worst regiments of renown, and the Raven's Heralds are on the list. They're pretty high up on the list, but they're there nonetheless. Yeah, this is a really fun matchup. I love Dark Elves versus Norska. So, Marathi's going to be dropping a Wand of Karaidon here on Wolfric, and that hits pretty hard. Man, that did like 400 or 500 damage, if not more. The Raven's Heralds are taking some pretty serious damage as well from the Marauder Horsemen, but the Shades are able to sneak up and get a huge torrent of fire here. So really good ambush there by Zablaski. He's able to get that juicy, juicy shot and really fend those guys off. And remember, guys, this is just the frickin' second best of 3. We still have the finals after this. We still have another best of 5. Where the Dark Lord Aerocrastic waits beyond the world on a throne of skulls. So here you can see that Marathi's going to be flying, looking for opportunities to snipe, and the Shade's getting some really good early value. Quite good for sure. In the meantime, the Raven's Herald's going to be shooting here at Wolfric, and honestly, Fireballs wouldn't be a bad idea to just shoot at the Raven's Herald, but it looks like the Fireball's going to be getting cast at Marathi instead, which she has some healing, she has Soul Stealer, might not be the best choice, and yeah, she can juke much better than the Raven's Herald, so... Oh, and the Fireball... Oh, I thought it was going to, like, Tokyo drift into those freaking Blackguard right there. Oh, no, but some of the Werewolves are actually able to catch these guys, but it looks like Zablaski is going to be intercepting with Marathi, who does have her Halberd, and this is a bit of a gambit here, because if Marathi gets fully surrounded, he can then countercharge with his Cold Moon Knights, pop a Soul Stealer to mitigate the damage, so I think Marathi did that on purpose as a bit of a bait and switch. The Cold Moon Knights have to come in and rescue her, though. If they don't, it's going to be a pretty bad situation, for sure. Now, Norska is actually not taking a center fight. They're avoiding the Blackguard and going around the flanks very heavily. And now come the Cold One Knights to support Marathi. But some of the Wolves are going to be countercharging. The Famir Warrior is going to be coming in as well. And it looks like this is going to be a very important fight here in this battle. But I think it's going to be better because Marathi is here. Marathi is going to give negative 18 melee attack to all these Wolves. And they're just going to be getting shreked horribly. So, although Famir are here, yeah, but Soul Stealer, Cascading Fire Cloak is active. And we do also have the Beast of Tashnar coming in. So, it's a bit of a mixed match situation here, but Blackguard coming in the back as well. Oh, but look at this. Flying Taco is able to get the dogs onto the Shades. So here we get Norscan Ice Wolves feasting on the souls of these Shades. He needs to pull back, though, because there are some Spearmen and some supporting elements nearby. So maybe just pulling back and getting up and around would be better. Norscan Infantry, in the most part, just pressuring into the flanks. Obviously, the Dark Elves are more than ready, and it seems like some of the Marauder Horsemen have been caught up here. But yeah, the big center fight's pretty important. Wolfric's coming in as well. Hunter of Champions pops on Marathi. And oh no, he's coming for her. It's going to hurt pretty bad if he's able to get those good attacks, but his melee defense is only 20 with Marathi's debuffs, so both players took some pretty heavy casualties. The Cold One Knights got beaten up pretty good here, I think one of them got like fully wiped out. Let's go ahead and take a look around. But yeah, Blackguard, you can't stay and fight. Wulfric needs to get away. If he stays and fights Marathi, who has a halberd plus Blackguard with the melee attack debuff, that's going to be a very dicey situation. In the meantime, the Raven's Herald's up in the sky shooting in, just getting free shots against Wulfric. Shades are able to stabilize, but it looks like the Norskin pressure is really good. And the Forest Marauders coming in, and oh no, Famir's coming in for Pound City. Oh, yeah, this is going to be brutal. Really nice engagement there. Those Shades are going to be taking a beating. So far, I think that Norskins are ahead, just ever so slightly. But again, if Wulfric goes down to the Coldwind Knights and Marathi, that could be a game-changing situation. So it looks like there's going to be some dogs coming in. We have the Firecaster, Skinwolf's going to be rallying back in. It looks like there are some in the distance, which are also healing, so that's quite good. But Wulfric needs to be careful. I mean, Norska is ahead on the Bounce of Power right now. The fact that they've compromised the Shades back here is huge. Like, this is a huge pick. Shades are quite expensive. The dual weapons, I think, cost like over 1,000 or around 1,000, give or take, like 900, 1,000, something like that. So really nice pick. I mean, that's taking away one of the hard counters against Wulfric, as well as the Famir and the Skinwolves and things like that. So Raven's Herald sitting and unleashing some volleys. I mean, he definitely needs to get these Marauder Horsemen and get them under the Raven's Herald and just pick them apart. I mean, they're pretty much a sitting duck here. But yeah, Wulfric's going to be falling back. It's smart. Don't fight Marathi on her terms. She's just going to get crazy, use her Enchanting Beauty and her Heart Render and the Dark Sword. Just neuter your melee attack. Just kind of save it for later, I suppose. I mean, Wulfric can do stuff, but yeah, he gets like 20 melee attack against her, which is quite rough. So if we take a big look at the Bounce of Power, it is in the favor of Norska and the Flying Taco. He's got Skinwolves over here. Looks like we have some Marauders here. We have Marauder Horsemen over here in the distance, and we do also have Marauder Horsemen right here. Wulfric's getting danger low, though, guys. He's got 1,200 HP. I mean, yeah, danger low for a Mammoth is like 1,000 plus HP, which is quite crazy. Man-Bear Pig. Oh, the Man-Bear Pig stuff always makes me laugh. But Marathi gets a really good freaking Soul Stealer. Hits like everything here. I don't know if it hit Wulfric because he wasn't in that radius of effect. Wulfric's at -7, 10 leadership. He's kind of fluctuating on the edge. He's riding in the danger zone for sure, making Kenny Loggins proud. Oh, but he gets a huge blow in against Marathi before he goes. Hunter of Champions active, and Wulfric the Wanderer has fallen to Marathi, the Hag Queen. And is she going to be able to stabilize? She has a lot of Blackguard here. Spearman coming in, Power of Darkness active as well. Let's try and get that Winds of Magic back. But Norska is doing pretty well in many respects on top of that. I think they have a bunch of Skinwolves coming back. Marauder Horsemen are in okay shape, but it looks like the Dark Elves are able to win the infantry fight. So the Blackguard, wow, and look at this, guys. Zablaski's coming back. That big Soul Stealer must have done a ton of damage, and now the Werewolves and company really need to kind of get their bearings together, get together, heal, use some skirmishing here from the Horsemen, use some fireballs here from the Shaman Sorcerer, and really work their way back into the game. So in the meantime, Marathi and some of the Spearmen are going to be going after the Famir over here. And, yeah, doing it to it there. On top of that, Spearmen in the back are rallying. Looks like some Norscan Horsemen are back online. It's still anyone's game. I mean, it just because he won that fight, the longer the fight goes, the more the Skinwolves are able to heal. That is, like, really big. And they're just going to keep healing quite happily. So I think it's going to devolve at this point to a situation where both players are basically just going to be chasing down the scraps. So just looking for freebies wherever they can. Like, this is a nice group of Spearmen here. Get the Horsemen back online. Take out the Raven's Herald. Nice volley right there. Those Horsemen getting some huge, huge DPS on them. And Marathi's doing the same thing. She's chasing down Marauders, those Famir are shattered. Both players just going to get their bearings. But unfortunately for the Flying Taco, it looks like there's still a lot of Blackguard. We have 57 Blackguard right here. And what do we have over here? Yeah, it looks like just some Dread Spears. So these Spearmen are going to be bracing, meeting their doom at the hand of these filthy barbarians. Some dogs are going to be coming in as well, so a very aggressive blitz, and also some Skinwolves. So yeah, I mean, for Flying Taco, I think just playing a patient game and just trying to heal. Use your Horsemen, which he still has a lot of, actually. Pretty good ammo on some of them. These ones, I mean, unfortunately, the one that has the most ammo is the one that's very, very beat up. But yeah, I don't know. It's a close game, for sure. I mean, Raven's Heralds have done some okay damage. Not like great. I think regular repeater crossbows, honestly, would have done more damage. Because the thing is you only have 18 models that do 58 apiece. And then with repeaters, you have 45 models that do 23 apiece. So, I don't know. It's pretty interchangeable for the most part. But yeah, the repeater crossbows on foot typically do a little bit. But again, Norska can hunt them, so at least you're getting some repeaters. So I don't know, maybe there's something to be said, but I still think they're not a good unit. Anyways, here, the Shaman Sorcerer probably has some fireballs to boot. So, I don't know, what does he use the fireballs on? He does have Flaming Sword of Ruin. You can see Zablaski's trying to bait the ammo here. What I would probably do if I were Flying Taco is ignore these guys. They only have one volley left. I would go after the Blackguard. Just trying to wear down the halberds is going to be like the most important thing. So very, very close game here between these players. Very evenly matched. Awesome stuff to see. And now the Norskins are coming in. Werewolves are going to be healing for sure. Looks like these ones are healing. 7 of their 18 models. These ones are at 8 of their 18 models, which is good. Yeah, I guess they didn't do bad against Wulfric for sure. Spears are chasing off some Marauders on the far side. I just don't know how he's going to crack these Blackguard. That's really, really tough, especially since most of his troops he has left are freaking, Skinwolves. Yeah, and the Raven's Heralds are just going to be chilling in the trees. They could definitely use some extra powder right now. In a 2v2, you could extra powder these guys, get the best tactics on the planet. So some of the Dread Spears going to be rotating here, getting ready to screen these guys out. Ammunition coming in, running quite low here. Marauder Horsemen have 1 volley. The last of their volleys is going to be unleashed here. But yeah, Marathi's going to be such a pain in the butt to deal with. Maybe some fireballs could potentially finish her off, but yeah, the Blackguard are your biggest issue. So these guys are charging in against Brace Spears in the forest. Not sure what's going on there. Marathi's going to be coming in for a counter charge. If anything, maybe that's a distraction Carnifex. But I don't know why he would throw those guys away. That was still 40 Marauders, which isn't bad. It must have been a distraction. Okay, so maybe he was just trying to distract him. Fireball's coming in. Oh, is it going to hit the tree? Oh, good fireball there by Flying Taco. Frickin' just cleaved through those Blackguard. Just went through them like butter. That was a really, really good value train. So maybe, just maybe, he threw in the Marauder Horseman as a bit of a distraction so he could get that fireball. I think maybe that's what he did. I like to think that's what he did. So if we look around for Norska, what do we have left? Looks like it's not much. Some Marauders. Over here, we got Skinwolves in the back that are still healing. These ones are still healing up. I mean, they're getting stronger and stronger. And you can see, guys, the balance of power is like dead even now. Yeah, like dead even. It's awesome. So here it comes. Marathi's on the hunt, dropping a fat Soul Stealer. I'm surprised he didn't save that for like an Alpha Strike, but Marathi will beat the brakes off the Shaman Sorcerer if she can catch him. 78 speed against 105. I think Marathi should have kept chasing because there's no Skinwolves nearby. But it looks like, yeah, there's a big fight coming in here, so maybe he needs to pull back for that. But the Blackguard are able to fend off the dogs as well as the Skinwolves, but the Skinwolves don't take any casualties. So Marauders are coming in, Skinwolves coming in. Oh, and he's going to catch these Spears unbraced, it looks like. But, oh, he might have braced at the last second, but the Dread Spears are going to be taking some Wolf Slaps, which is going to be quite good for the forces of Norska and Flying Taka. But the bounce power is ebbing more and more into the favor of the Dark Elves, as Marathi is just going to be such a presence to deal with. Like, she is just such a beast. Over here, though, Norska is able to isolate the Raven's Herald and take those guys out, so a little bit of a tit for tat. Quite good, and the Marauders probably need to fall back at this point. Like with Marathi fighting here, it's not going to be a good situation. Marathi's going to be able to just get her cane and just go ham on those guys. Maybe just using more fireballs. So it looks like another fireball might be coming up here. It looks like Flying Taco is going to be getting in position for that. Yeah, you guys can see the bounce power is like ever so slightly in the favor of those bad boys. So is there going to be another fireball? It looks like it. Where's it going? It's going after Marathi, actually. Interesting. And she's able to juke it. So yeah, I mean, I think the Blackguard were the better choice, or maybe the Spearmen from the side. So here come the Werewolves, thinking about going in, but Marathi's after them. And yeah, she's really, really good against large targets. She'll put their melee attack down to like 22 and then be able to just, you know, spank them pretty good. All right, so here we go. Marathi on the hunt. Going to be landing here amongst the Marauders. Marauder Horseman still throwing in, going after Marathi. But yeah, now she's out for blood. She's like, you petty Shaman Sorcerer, I'm coming for you. No, she's going to go after the Werewolves, which is smart. So they're going to be just swerving in there. Cascading Fire Cloak going down is going to make them quite a bit tankier. And maybe if they can get Marathi, this is actually pretty good for Flying Taco. Maybe just commit to a fight with the Sorcerer against Marathi. Yeah, but it looks like there's just too many spears. He's going to get forced back. But there are some Dark Elves here that are slightly isolated, so maybe going after this pocket up here while Marathi's busy. Just maybe, but yeah, the Skinwolves have engaged. They're being dragged down. Now the bounce power is really, really just going into the favor here of the Dark Elves. It's like, it's noticeable now. Like, it's past the dual swords. Yeah, he's got to use the fireballs in the ground troops. Like, getting a fat one here against the Dread Spears and the Black Guard would be really, really strong for sure. But I understand, like, gooting Marathi out, like, gives you a pretty open chance because it gets rid of the caster. So it's a bit of a gamble shooting her with the fireball, but I understand the line of thinking. And I don't think it's a bad idea either, but Zablaski's obviously very good at dodging things, so it's going to be hard. So, yeah, Horsemen are flying under Marathi right now, trying to save the Skinwolves, it looks like, but Marathi's going to be able to juke most of those, but taking some to the face. What does Norska have? They have Werewolves, they have Marauders coming back in. Just everything here is anti-large, though, which is so brutal. I wonder if the Shaman Sorcerer is going to go after Marathi now. No, he's probably going to try and get a fireball lined up for this like big blob here. Horses do still have ammo. Yes, they do. There's far too many spears left, yeah. And guys, we still have a glorious best of 5 after this. Man, what great even matches we've had this entire day. So Skinwolves are charging in. The dogs are feigning a charge. Ooh, these Dread Spears are a juicy free target. Just get them. They'll break instantly. Yeah, Zablaski's going to be farming a Helm's Deep here. Marathi chasing off the Skinwolves, which is a really smart play. Awesome, awesome play there. Marauder Horseman still in the hunt. The Werewolves need to get some freebies here. Looks like they are able to get a pick and actually shatter some of those guys. So these Werewolves are just running rampant here. Getting a lot of kills. I mean, only 26 kills, but a lot of them have been accrued right now against these very tattered troops. Then they simply run away. Fireball Sorcerer needs to drop it. He needs to drop some of that fat witchcraft here. Let's get that fat witchcraft. Thank you, Shadow Sift. Much appreciated. And here comes the Shaman Sorcerer. He's doing it to it. Do it, Anakin. Shoot them. Yeah, I think it's pretty much... I think it's got to be over at this point. Like, I don't know how he's going to deal with Marathi. She's just so pissed off on her steed Sulafet. The last 3 games have been very strange. Yeah, but fun. Like, interesting games. But very, very down to the wire. Like, both players are just scrapping their hearts out to try and get this victory. Because it's still attainable for the Taco, believe it or not. Like, just barely. Although, that depends very heavily on his Winds of Magic situation. Oh, and the Black Guard aren't braced. Oh, but they get the charge. Some of these Skin Wolves going to get poked pretty good. We have the Shaman Sorcerer going here, so he unbraces the spears, and now he's going to rear charge them. That's a pretty good play. So he hits the spears from the front and the back. And he's going to be trying to break them, it looks like. But yeah, their leadership's holding pretty firm. Elves have good leadership in general, so it's not going to be like a super easy break. Yeah. Marathi's coming back in. I think this is spelling doom for the Norskins. They're going to be sent back to the Frozen Wastes. But man, a really good series here by Taco. He's played really well today. Both these players have. Marathi overhead, dropping a fat fireball here against the Black Guard. Not the best one, but again, like if they see it coming, they can pretty much accommodate it and, you know, get away. Marathi's coming in, which means these Skin Wolves are now dead, and they're not even strong enough to really fight her. I mean, I guess maybe just going for a gooning on Marathi here is your best bet. Like, just get all your werewolves, attack her, get the Shaman Sorcerer, just get everyone and try and take her out. But it looks like she has enough Winds of Magic for another Soul Stealer, which is going to be really gross. Oh, that's going to be fat. Oh, that's so good and tasty. Look at that. Look. Just look at it. And that's game, guys. So Zablaski's going to be moving on to the finals to face Aerocrastic in a best of 5. Well played. Well played to those 2 fine gentlemen. Let's give a round of applause to the great Flying Taco. An awesome player, but an even better person. He's definitely one of the better lads out there. Great sportsman, great player, and he put on some really fun battles today. So Zablaski's going to be moving on to the finals to face the Dark Lord Aerocrastic, who waits atop a throne of skulls. And let us go to the bracket. Zablaski is moving on to the finals. And yeah, guys, the winner of this is going to be summoned as an Elector count, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. So let's see what happens here. First time I use Blackguard in forever, they do not disappoint. Well played, Taco. Turn, remember to investigate the strange smell. The smell actually disappeared, Misha. Yeah, I don't know what it was. The worst ROR video will be going up probably on Monday or Tuesday. For the man. All right, so Zablaski, stay here. And Aerocrastic can join. So let's go ahead and invite you. I love spectator mode. Spectator mode's great. But did he just... Man, Arrow's quick on the draw. Look at him. What an ace. All right, so we need to fix the scoreboards now. And... All right, so... Flying... Aerocrastic. My brain slipped for a second. I was like, how do I spell this? How is this spelled? It's been a long while since we've met in a tournament. Must have been a year longer. So Zablaski, pick and single ban in finals. All right, so the first map is going to be... I want to put him on Crossroads just to have fun, but... Oakenhammer. So apparently they had met before in tournaments. Cool, so they're going to do their picks and bans, guys. The strange smell was Wookiee praying to Nurgle, probably. Probably the foul spawn of Nurgle. Zablaski says, I think we need to continue our tradition of Wood Elves versus Skaven. All hail the mighty, they're arising from the deep. Alrighty. I'm gonna get some water, guys. Let him try. Alright, so it looks like maybe it's gonna be Lizardman versus Coast. The Battle of the Lizard Trinkets. The classic. Alright, guys, let me get some water real quick. I am parched. Wookiee is a beast of Nurgle, yes. delicious hydration, H2O. Life is good. Mr. Socks, sure, man. Yeah. So Mr. Socks, mods, you can let him drop the link because he's dropping a link to a beginner server for beginner tournaments and gameplay and stuff. So yeah, go ahead, Mr. Socks. It's fine. Zablaski does have to play 8 games in a row, but, well, no, not 8 games. Well, potentially 8 games. But yeah, I mean, honestly, most players, tournament players, are used to this. My tournaments are not that much of a grind. Like, a lot of the other ones you play, like, freaking, you have to sit there for like 5 or 6 hours. He'll be totally fine. Like, most of these guys will grind ladder games for hours, and it's no problem. Misha, I checked out the server, Misha. Yeah, I checked it out. It's all good. Spirit of Gorg, bloated corpse galore. Oh, man. Thank you so much. Spirit of Gorg, one of my favorite names. I don't know why, but I just like it. It always makes me laugh. Yeah, Misha, they invited me to the server today, so it's a server for newer players to get into multiplayer. Yeah, it's all good. Good peoples. Maybe a noob question, but as I run through YouTube for Warhammer, there are not many high elves in multiplayer matches. I don't know. Yeah, high elves aren't like the most popular factions, so maybe that's why. I personally, I don't play them a lot though, so maybe that's why you have that impression if you're watching my channel mostly. All right, I have my lizard build in a different folder. Start when ready. No rush. So yeah, it's going to be Zablaski on Lizardman against Arrow on Tomb Kings for our first matchup. Yeah, so you can also message Wicked D. He hosts a lot of great tournaments. And he is on our Discord. An awesome man. All right. We go forth into this good night. It's getting a little bit late for some of you Europeans, but thank you for staying the course. It's been a great day of Warhammer. Well, Zablaski had the first pick and ban, so, you know. But it alternates back and forth. Turin, it's from a 90s trash song, The Spirit of the Hawk. Okay, thank you, man. Now I know the reference, finally. Yeah, Wicked, Mr. Socks, you guys should connect. Here, Wicked, let me invite you, actually. I'm in that server, so I should be able to invite. One second here. Cool. There you go, man. Yeah, and Wicked and Mr. Socks, if you guys want to drop links to that Discord, it's a Discord dedicated to beginners playing games, from what I can tell. So should be fun. We'll be doing some events with them in the future and stuff. We sacrifice our sleep in the name of Turin. Don't worry, it'll get linked in a second, guys. So players are picking their armies, getting ready to party. Lizardmen versus Tomb Kings is a pretty fun matchup. It's always cool to see like the big old constructs. I'm just gonna sit for a second, guys, and rest my old bones are aching. Of course, I cast at a standing desk, so. My old bones are aching. I've never been to Krakow, no. I've been to Warsaw, because Anna's family lives closer to Warsaw, so we always go to Warsaw, yeah. We're going to be trying to go for Christmas as well. Lizardmen are really strong. They're a really good faction. They just happen to probably lose more often than not on my channel, just based on random circumstances, and I'm not good at them, so. But they're a great faction in the hands of a good player, who obviously knows how to play them and stuff, so. All hail the mighty, ever rising from the deep, with crooked sails and incredible tales. Alrighty. Looking good. Looking good. Cool. And it looks like we're ready to go, guys. Zablaski versus Aerocrastic here in the grand finals in this best of 5 showdown. The winner will be elected as one of the elector counts of our empire and will be playing in the grand final. So here we go. is time. Captain Hanks says 5 a.m. can't sleep, and lo and behold, my deliverance is here. Dude, I got you, Mr. Hanks. Optimus Pine, I love my standing desk. It's like a game changer. Yeah. I haven't sat at the desk since I've gotten it, and it's been like 3 months now, give or take. My shoulders feel better. My lower back feels better. It's just important to like move around every so often. It's really nice, man. It takes some getting used to at first. Like when I first started playing on it, I was like having problems. I was like, oh, it's like something doesn't feel right, but yeah. A Deckard Cain reference, dude. Always. I was a hardcore Diablo 2 player, and Diablo 1. I played the hell out of those games. Man, I miss Diablo 2. That was such a good game. We'll probably see Vampire Coast. Zablasky plays Coast, and this is a best of 5, so I think we'll probably see them. Like, against Skaven, perhaps. All right, guys. So here we are in the first best of 5. It's going to be Lord Mazdamundi and Zablasky teaming up. Double Feral Carnosaur, really standard anti-monster mash, so he is expecting the Construct fight. The rest of his army is going to be Saurus, Legion of Chakwa against Ushapti Greatbow. So basically you get these guys and you stack Mazdamundi on top of them, and then from there you use the Shield of Chakwa to give yourself 44% missile resist. It's really, really strong against Ushapti Greatbow. So he's got those, a couple skinks on the flanks. Lord Jabba, as far as spells, has Nets, Curse of Midnight Wind, Apotheosis. Standard kit. Yeah, a couple skinks as well. So yeah, very much as a Carnosaur smash build. Has a lot of healing though. Bastiladon with the Rev Crystal plus Mazdamundi with Apotheosis. There will be plenty of healing. Now for the build of Aerocrastic. In the front line, it's going to be Skeleton Spears with the Kepra Guard. Cool stuff. No Tomb Guard though, aside from that. In the front, Tomb Guard with Halberds in the back with the King Keshes. Nope, just going to be Skeleton Spears. Chariots are a good choice, because dealing with Lizardmen infantry can be a little bit difficult for Tomb King, so mixing in one Chariot as not only a distraction, but also an anti-infantry, anti-skink tool is quite good. So Chariot here, Sneaky Snakes with Halberds in the back, double Ushapti Greatbow, Tomb Scorpion, and Cetra. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, how does Cetra deal with constructs? Like, he doesn't have anti-large, it's going to be an uphill battle. Well, something a lot of people don't know is that if you overcast the Jaff's Incantation of Cursed Blades, it actually gives your character a bonus versus large. So people just use that on Cetra, and then he can duel pretty much any of those guys, like, hands down, which is quite good. We had Vampire Counts earlier. Yeah, they had a game earlier against High Elves. It was in the first series we had. Yes. Yes. And here we go. Here come the flanks. Carrion going to be swooping up and around, looking for some of those chameleons, but it looks like there's a couple in front, which are going to be quite obnoxious, I'm sure. And man, and I always, whenever Arrow plays Tomb Kings, I always get excited because of his ever-chosen performance against Soothsayer that one time. It was so badass. So Ushapti Greatbow going to be teeing off into the Bastiladon, it looks like. Yeah, just going after the Rev Crystal. He's probably trying to bait out the Legion right now to get that fat freaking buff off, because it does have a long cooldown. So yeah, it's going to be going off now. So the Bastiladon is going to get 44% missile resist, which will be very helpful against those Ushapti Greatbow bolts. On the flanks, Chariots looks like they're thinking about coming in. Probably going to get a freebie here. Carnosaurs are a little bit out of position. Granted, Jabba the Hutt does have a net, so it looks like he's going to be dropping a net, but it might be a bait. Yeah, it might be a little bit of a bait here. So Saurus are going to get in. Yeah, it looks like maybe those Skeleton Chariots may go down to the Saurus and the Carnosaurs, but a little bit hard to say because Cetra is lurking nearby. Now, Sneaky Snakes with Halberds going to be doing a frontal charge against Saurus. Not bad. Should get some free real estate there, do a little bit of damage, but the Chariots are very much going to die here probably, or at the very least take a ton of damage. Arrow might be able to pull out here. It's hard to say. He is going to be using the Carrion in the back to pin in the Carnosaur, and now Cetra is going to be coming in with the Steel Chair potentially. Although it looks like Cetra might be lurking in the back, thinking about trying to get on Mazdamundi, and the Chariots are broken off, but it's not the biggest thing in the world. They're a fairly cheap unit. Now in the back, Tomb Scorpion is kind of looking for a place to go, probably going to be engaging against some Saurus. Ushapti Greatbow, what are they shooting? It looks like they're going after the Rev Crystal still, which is getting a lot of good layering of buffs. Zablasky doing a great job with Shield of the Old Ones and some of those other tools. But here you can see Aerocrastic is able to get his Sneaky Snakes through and his Carrion, and he's going for that fat, thick toad. He's using Cetra, he's using the Sneaky Snakes, and might be in pretty good shape. However, Zablasky is going to be responding in kind. He pulls back the Legion, which is a great pick, because it's pretty much going to make the Necropolis Knights have to fall back. If they don't, they're going to be taking massive casualties. So far, very back and forth stuff. Ushapti Greatbow still pouring fire into that Rev Crystal to kind of minimize the long-term effectiveness of that Lizardman healing. And they're getting there. It looks like it's finally broken. So what Arrow wants to do here is get his Carrion and just chase off the Bastiladon. Chase it off the battlefield. Use the Ushapti Greatbows to start shooting Carnosaurs, because if you don't, these big, angry Jurassic Park beasts are going to be doing a ton of damage. So Zablasky, in the meantime, is going to be dropping a fat heal right here. He gets not fat heal, but a fat net onto Cetra, locks him in place. So Cetra's just going to turn and fight, and he's going to use the Blessed Blade of Patra, Narrow's Incantation of Protection, and with all those buffs, he should be able to easily beat that Feral Carnosaur. Tomb Scorpion still doing a good job in the front line. It looks like there's some idle Saurus over here who need to start chasing. If Zablasky could like get them and come up and through here and chase those Ushabti Grepo, that would be really good. Now back in the pit fight, we still do have some sneaky Snake Halberds who do have the Jajaf's Incantation of Cursed Blades, and despite the fact they are going down to spears and some attrition here from the Lizardmen, it looks like they have gotten some good damage against the Feral Carno, which is quite nice. But yeah, they are going to be going down for sure, but Cetra's going in pretty deep, and something that's a little bit concerning for the Dinos is the fact that the Ushabti Grepo are just happily shooting. There's no pressure on them whatsoever, and those guys are going to be able to just tear up this Feral Carnosaur like in no time. You can see it's already wavering, and I would imagine he's using the Carrion to chase off the Bastillodon. It looks like the Bastillodon already got chased off. I don't see it anywhere. I'm looking around, making sure I'm not missing it. It looks like we did not. So Cetra's still fighting. He's in a bit of a 2v1 fight, but what Cetra has going for him is he has the Tomb Guard with Halberds who were able to kind of scooch over here and get in there. So one of the Feral Carnos is broken. Unfortunately, Aerocrastic doesn't have any more Carrion to chase off that Feral Carno because that would probably win him the game. If he just chased off this Carno, that would be game losses, I think. Because the other Carno is going to have trouble fighting Cetra plus Ushabti Grepo support. And now Zablasky doing a good job finally pushing through with these Saurus to get back here on the Ushabti Grepo. And the Ushabti summon has been popped here. So it looks like Aero is very much committing to this pit fight, wanting to win, wanting to take out the Carnosaur and butter some of that sweet bread. But the other Carno is coming back. And, you know, like I said, had he been able to chase that off, it probably would have been a game win. But here, now that it's back, it's going to be a very different situation because Mazda maybe has some more heals, Apotheosis, Cold Blood is going to get rid of Rampage. And there's still a fair amount of Saurus coming in. So this is really good. Getting the Saurus to chase the Ushabti Grepos means they're not going to be sitting and shooting, and Cetra is going to be in a hard 2v1 fight. So suddenly, this is a situation where I think the Lizards might be able to come back. I think they were at a state of disadvantage for quite some time, but Cetra needs to pull back. What needs to happen, like in this very moment, is Cetra needs to run. He needs to peel these Saurus, get the Ushabti Grepos back online, and once those guys are back online, the Carnosaurs will fall. But if he keeps trying to fight in this pit, it's going to be a losing fight. Eventually, the Feral Carnosaurs will 2v1 him and probably take him down. But it looks like he's really staying the course. Oh, never mind. Actually, that changes everything. I did not see the Tomb Scorpion. So the fact that there's a Tomb Scorpion here gives him a fighting chance. Okay. Yeah, that changes my whole analysis I just gave you guys. So the fact that the Tomb Scorpion's here means there's another big hard-hitting monster, which means it's essentially like a balanced fight now. And Cetra and the Scorpion are able to push back the dinosaur here. And the other one, oh, a nice Ruination of Cities, doing some decent work against Skeleton Spears and the supporting chaff. And also, guys, mind you, the Ushabti summon is going to be disappearing here in just a second. So that is going to be a changing variable, which will be quite helpful. And Ushabti Grepo are running from Saurus. Pretty good stuff. I mean, Saurus really paying their dues back here. And you can see Cetra plus the Tomb Scorpion are really doing a solid job, you know, to this Feral Carno. So yeah, the fact that he had the Tomb Scorpion there was pretty big. But anyway, Cetra are going to be getting attacked once again. Shield of the Old Ones is going to keep these Feral Boys fighting for quite a bit longer. I mean, they might actually break without that, but it looks like this Feral Carno might actually just naturally break here. Man, this is such a close game. A little bit grindy here in the middle, but very, very close battle nonetheless. So Tomb Scorpion and Cetra going in, trying to isolate this Carnosaur here, who's just doing a classic T-pose for us. And yeah, Cetra is a very, very powerful duelist. So it looks like the Feral Carnosaur is going to be breaking. Blade of Petra is active, which gives him huge combat debuffs against enemy opponents. And yeah, it looks like that's probably going to be game. It really comes down to that, you know, because now the Ushabti Grepos, yeah, they pause, they fire, so they're scooting and shooting. Classic StarCraft 2 style of micro here. And you can see Cetra is going to be coming back in and should be able to break off these Saurus. And once the Ushabti Grepos are peeled, that's going to be really nice. So this one probably just wants to run like beeline for the edge of the map over there. And maybe he's going to cut back this way, like try and get back here, get behind some of these spears. That would be really nice. But yeah, I don't see how, I don't know. Man, this is a really close one. Oh man, this is really close. Did the Tomb Scorpion fall? Oh man, okay, I was looking at the bounce of power wrong. And now you can see Zablasky's pulling ahead as the Ushabti Grepo are crumbling down. Cetra could still win this, for sure. But the Skinks are going to be a pretty nice boon. Skeleton Spearmen here are going to get crumbs. Cetra needs to push off the Saurus here, and then the Ushabti Grepos need to kill the Carnosaur. If that's done, Cetra might be able to cycle charge and just ramrod these guys into oblivion. Yeah, it's suddenly the game's turning. I really thought that Aerocrastic was in a state of control, but now that the battle's really grinding to its halt here, you can see that the Lizards have endured quite well, and Jabba the Hutt in all his thickness just doing a great job. And yeah, it really came down to the Ushabti Grepos getting chased by Saurus. That was like the game-winning play there. A very simple play, but one that eventually did very well for him. So here you can see Cetra has Narrow's Incantation of Protection. He's going in balls deep here. He gets the Cursed Blades as well, and he's going to be trying to finish off the Carnosaur. You can see the Scoot and Shoot coming down. Ushabti Grepos are in guard mode, which means they're going to keep shooting and carrying out their orders, but he has to kill that Carno. But yeah, it looks like he's losing. Jabba the Hutt with his big, thick cane. Look at him. Just getting all toad crazy here. And that's going to be game one for Zablasky. Wow, what a game. I really thought Arrow had that. Some of those early engagements, plus you Shopji Grapo Fire, just wrecking those Carnos. But man, if he had one unit to chase off those Carnos, like I said in the halfway point, he would have won that game. But Zablaski enduring like an absolute beast. Very well played to those players. That was a great game by both of them. So 1-0 for Zablaski. That thickness. Yeah, I think the Scorpion died somewhere. That's what really fooled me. I didn't see it die, so I assumed it was still at play, you know? So the next map we're going to do, we'll do Schwarzhofen. Aerocrostic says, in hindsight, it might have been a good idea to use that resist spell on my chariot. Perhaps so. Arrow picks and bans. And here we go. The Lizardmen doing work. Misha, well, Zyphos. That was a game. The bloated corpse, is that what you guys want? It's not going to happen. I'll bring you guys a bloaty boy game this week, but don't expect these two players to do it because they're trying to advance to the grand finals. Yeah, I was probably zoomed in and just missed it. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Oh my god. That was pretty great. That was pretty great. Ah. You're out of touch. You're out of time. All right, guys. Cool. Just double checking the settings, making sure everything's good. And remember, guys, if you have any glorious Dwarf or Empire stuff from Tabletop, please shoot me a message on Discord as well. Yeah, the Bloaty Boys, nobody expects them, yeah. Hey, Mr. Socks. Of course, dude. And yeah, Mr. Socks, I highly recommend working with Wicked. Yeah. Like, make him a mod on your server. You won't regret it. Yeah, guys, let's get those likes going. Let's do it. Hammer it. Beat it like a drum. As cringy as that is, it does help me out. A single bloat in the map with some forest can do wonders. Dude, never underestimate the bloat. Yeah, I try not to zoom in a lot. I try to keep like a mid-range kind of focus. I think going too... If you commentate on battles from too high up, like the Skyrise and just like looking at the dots, it loses all the immersiveness and isn't even fun to watch. But if you go too zoomed in, you miss all the variables on the side. So I try and keep like a mid-ground, but occasionally I zoom in. Yeah. Yeah, this is the first... That was the first game of this best of 5 final. So Aerocrastic's going to be going for the Wood Elves. He plays Wood Elves and he bans High Elves. And Zablaski coming in with the wah! So somebody in chat earlier wanted it, and it's here. Yeah. Zablaski is Russian. Yes, I believe so. Aerocrastic lives here in the States. Yeah, oh yeah. I'm doing it to it. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for your support. All right, moving in. Game 2 here in the finals. Zablaski, Aerocrastic, the Clash of Titans. All the games today have been very close. Like every series has gone to, its final rendition. So I'm quite excited to see if this one does as well. I sure hope so. Currently, Zablaski's up 1-0. As far as the advantage in this matchup, I really don't know, honestly. Perhaps Zyphos can answer that because he plays... I play Greenskins, but I don't really have a good understanding of Wood Elves. I mean, I do, but I'm not like good at executing. Warzog against Wood Elves, it's pretty risky. Pravenoth Rama sniping is really gross against him. I don't know who you pick, honestly. I like Azag because he's a little bit more mobile. And he can give you some flying pressure. Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to survive the sniping. You have to be really careful. Warzog is good, though. Pravenoth Rama, or the pig of Anoth Rama, the effigy of Anoth Rama, is quite good. Does some serious work. Yeah, the Saurus chasing him was great last game. That was a really, really good play. May the Wood Elves win. I don't know. I'm kind of a greenskin fan myself, so comparatively. Yeah, that Carno kept coming back like an absolute beast. An absolute beast. Oh, yes. Gotham's Reckoning. 421 Bud. Thank you for becoming a member here on the channel. Appreciate it, man. Grimgor, obviously. Oh my god, if frickin' Zablaski brings Grimgor, I think he would win the hearts of the people. No, he has a Goblin Great Shaman, which is great. Like, if you're worried about your Lord being sniped, just bring the cheapest, most haggard Lord and just run him around cackling. That's great. I love that so much. And this is my favorite pick against Wood Elves is Greenskins. My favorite pick, Doomdiver Catapults. They're so underrated. They can deal with kiting so well. They deal a bunch of damage. Great against light armor, great against Wild Riders, great against archers. Awesome pick there by Zablaski. I love it. On top of that, he's got Orc Boys into the sunset. He's got some nasty Skulkers to slow down charges. Night Goblin Archers, front line of, the Goblin RORs and that good stuff. And some pigs. Orc Boy Biggins. Interesting stuff. So a defensive pig build. For once, the WA is going to be chilling and playing defensively with a little haggard Night Goblin Shaman. And for the forces of Aerocrastic, we have a Glade Lord with Helm of Discord. So he's not going to be going for that really kind of a Prey of Anothrama snipey style of play. He's going to be going in balls deep for the fight. So he has that. Wild Riders with Helm of Discord and Dragon support will run Greenskins over so hard. He does also have Deepwood Scouts, 2 groups of Dryads, and a bunch of Eternal Guard mixed in with Spellsinger with Lore of Life. Prey of Anoth Bacon. Yes. I love Doomdivers. They're like my go-to pick against kiting factions. They're so good. Because like Wood Elves aren't going to be able to snipe them that easily. And like they can chase down flying lords. Like they just bring so much utility to the battlefield. And against Wild Riders too, it's great. Like if targeting correctly, he should be able to get some really good damage before the main fighting starts. So Zablaski will probably square up his army here. Probably going to be getting his guys front and center, ready to intercept. A defensive pig build. Yeah, so Morden Solus, by haggard, I don't mean, okay, I use that term too loosely. Yeah, the Goblin Great Shaman isn't like a bad pick. He's cheap, he does what he does, he's a cheap caster lord. Grimgor is the worst for Greenskins, probably. One of the worst lords, yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know, maybe when Orc Warboss, who knows? The Orc Warboss can at least take a Wyvern, though, and become decent. That's the thing. Whereas Grimgor is just always haggard on foot, just being dragged through the mud. I've won battles with Grimgor against decent players, but it's a huge handicap. He's so easy to snipe too. Like Grimgor could just get sniped by this Glade Lord, and it's like breath attacks, and like, yeah, it'd be rough. So both players squaring up here. Doomdiver Catapult's going to be getting in position. That's going to be Zablaski's #1 priority. He needs to make sure the Doomdivers are in good shape. Like if he lets those get compromised, his army's going to get flattened. Those Doomdivers need to sit and just shoot. And here comes the first one. Oh, I love Doomdivers. They're so hard to dodge too because of the heat seeking. Look at these little goblins. Oh. That one just barely missed, but here comes a couple more. They might make some good contact. He needs to screen out the Glade Lord. Oh, you know, those guys are trying. Not the best shots, but there's going to be more to come. We'll keep our eyes on them. And the Glade Lord's going to be focused back, and this is like, the Greenskins are happy to do this. Just kind of sit here and use their Doomdivers to just kind of poke. You can see the archers now too, so maybe using the freaking Doomdivers to shoot down. Oh, those are the Hawkeyes of Drakira. So these are the ROR Way Watchers. These guys actually have Discourage. So pretty interesting choice against Greenskins because they have low leadership. So could be pretty good there. Goblin Great Shaman thinking about going out there, and Doomdiver Catapults are now shooting in. Where are they going? I think they're going after the archers. So here comes one volley. Boom, right into those archers. Takes out quite a few models. Takes out 7 models there. And the Hawkeyes of Drakira taking a huge blow, losing 5 models. That's really painful. So Doomdiver is starting to pay their dues for sure. And knowing that, the Wood Elves are going to be surging in because the longer they procrastinate and procrastinate, they're going to be taking a lot of damage from the Doomdiver Catapult. So here comes another one, and boom, right to the sisters, taking out 2 models there. It adds up. Those little gets add up for sure. So we'll see how that goes. So the WA is here. The first wave of goblins, the fanatics just get run over instantly by some Wild Riders, which is pretty hilarious. Dryads also cause fear, so that's also quite a helpful boon against Greenskins. So some Wild Riders going to be charging into Orc Boys who are already shaken, which is hilarious. So they're wavering. Here comes some nasty Skulkers, and yeah, he needs to make sure that he protects here. But yeah, he's basically just throwing a bunch of trash at the Wood Elves, just throwing, I'm the trash man. Nice Doomdiver, not Doomdiver, but Smoke Bomb there from the nasty Skulkers, able to slow those guys down. But he needs to protect the Doomdivers. If those things get crumped, it's going to be game losses for sure. So the WA is active now. The pigs are going to be charging in. These are Orc Warboy Biggin, so they are anti-large, but Yeah, they're going to get pulled back. I think Arrow's going to pull the bait and switch here. Although, no, it looks like he might take the charge here on the Wild Riders. No, he's teasing. Yeah, and the pigs are now going to be overextending a little bit, it looks like. Yeah, they're going to get caught by Dryads. They're going to get sandwiched. But yeah, he's still charging through. Sneaky stabbing as well. Really committing to that fight. And even though they will die, at least they're getting some okay damage before they go. In the meantime, Goblin Archers unleashing a torrent of fire here into the Wild Riders in the center, and the Greenskin Wah pushes forward, and more importantly, the Doomdiver Catapults are still online, still happy. I think both are online? Yeah, it looks like both are online right now, so they're going to be shooting downtown, and it looks like the Wood Elves are they're getting some nice picks here and there, but most of the picks they're getting are against, like, Haggard units anyways, so, yeah, I don't know. Hawkeyes of Jakira are still shooting in, applying some Discourage to the high-value targets, and by high-value, I mean, like, Orc Boy Biggins. And the little Night Goblin Shaman is just running around cackling. Look at him, just being an absolute beast. But Doomdiver Catapults continuing to shoot in against Wild Riders. But like I said, if the Wild Riders can get back here and kill the Doomdivers, I think that might be enough to win the Wood Elves the game. Like, because then they can just like pull apart all this chaff. Yeah, I don't know. Is it too little too late? So the Warlords boys are coming back here. Some of these Skulkers need to get back here as well. I think Zablaski's realizing he's like, oh shit, my backline's open right now. Dryads are pushing through. He needs to kind of slam in and protect these catapults. Now, in the meantime, Greenskin's fighting everywhere. We have Orc Boys against Eternal Guard, which is not a bad matchup for Orc Boys. They should do okay there, and it looks like they're trading pretty efficiently there. The little Goblin Archers have scooted up and are getting some decent shots there, but one Doomdiver Catapult is pretty pushed. You can see it's going to be getting hunted by these Wild Riders. Some Skulkers are trying to intercept with Sneaky Stabbing as well, and it looks like they might push off one group of Wild Riders here, but now that Aerocrastic has smelled blood, he's going to be coming back here, and these Doomdiver Catapults are going to be having a really bad time. So yeah, you can see they're getting broken off here. Plus, the Dragon's pretty healthy, so yeah, that's another concern. How is he really going to deal with the Dragon? I think he'd have to kill most of the other threats. Oh, and look at all these Goblins. That's so much money just getting chased down by one Wild Rider. That means they're not going to be coming back. Oof. Oof indeed. So Wild Riders here are going to be going after the Goblin Great Shaman, and yeah, if he breaks, it's probably over. He's shaken. I mean, this character is like literally just like a goblin. Like he's just squealing on his wolf and running. Oh, I love it so much. So what do the Greenskins have? They have some frontline engagements that are going pretty well. I mean, decently. But yeah, still there's Eternal Guard coming in. There's a Spellsinger with the Lore of Life. The Archers are all still in good shape. Really good ammunition conservation here from Aerocrastic. And I think that's going to be game. I think the Wah is going to be dismembered here. I think the Pigs weren't able to defend. Maybe keeping the Biggins back a little bit longer until you absolutely have to commit them. So Orc Boar Boys are trying to get a good fight here. This is a chance to get back in the game. If they can actually kill this Blade Lord. Oh no, Aerocrastic might be trapped here. Gorkle Fix-It slows him, and if he has a smoke bomb on these nasty Skulkers, that would be a game changer. Does he have the smoke bomb? That's going to be a big deciding factor. So the Pigs turn around and countercharge the Wild Riders that are coming in, which partially frees up the Glade Lord, but yeah, it's really hard to say. Wild Riders here, Gorkle Fix-It is slowing them down as well, and it looks like there's going to be some other Witchcraft going down. Itchy Nuisance is quite nice. Yeah, even the Goblin Shaman is having to get in there and fight, but yeah, he's shaking. I mean, he does not want to be fighting a dragon on this little Haggard Wolf. Is Smoke Bomb active? Hard to say. Zablaski should win the fight against these Wild Riders. But wow, guys, the balance of power is normalizing. What is happening? Look at this. It's going back towards the middle. As the nasty Skulkers are fighting to the bitter end here, just doing a great job. Those Wild Riders are broken off by the Pigs, and now this Dragon could potentially be crumbed here. It depends if there's a Smoke Bomb, like I said. Smoke Bomb would be really, really nice. Here it comes. Is the Smoke Bomb active? Hard to say. Balance of power again, quite even. So Spellsinger's coming in. We have some Wild Riders coming in as well. And the Night Goblin casters here, or Archers, excuse me, are going to be shooting into support. And it looks like, yeah, the ammunition running a little bit low. Archers slightly, not overextended, but kind of the opposite of that. But yeah, that's going to be, that was kind of their last hope here. Like, if the Pigs could endure. But yeah, the Wild Riders plus the Spellsinger coming back in, I think is too much to handle. And those guys are probably going to break. In the meantime, though, Greenskins do have some pockets of resistance. They do have the Orc Boys fighting some Dryads, doing their best. Archers shooting in against Eternal Guard. We're fighting Skulkers. Yeah, the Pigs are just so beat up, and the fact that there's like a full health Dragon is just such a pain in the butt. Like, Greenskins have so many issues with terror routing. Yeah, they definitely get spooked quite easy. And here you can see that the Orc Boys continuing that grind there. That's going to be a losing battle for them as well. And yeah, the fact that the Deepwood Scouts are still online, plus the Hawkeyes of Jakira, we're actually now fighting the Warlords Boys. This is really nice for Zablaski, actually, getting the Warlords Boys to fight these very squishy, expensive Archers. That's a huge catch. If only it were earlier in the game. In the meantime, though, Dragon's continuing to go. Aerocrastic going in for those Alpha Strikes, and Arrow's really just staying persistent here. Really, really good play by these guys. Here come the Archers. Night Goblin Archer Fanatics shooting in. Peppering that Dragon down. And yeah, it's pretty much army losses. Hawkeyes of Jakira are kind of beaten down by some of those gits over there, but they're able to get back in here, and that's going to be army losses. Well played! So Aerocrastic ties up the series 1-1, guys. 1-1. Damn. The boars, yeah, boar boys are terrible. They're like one of the worst cav units in the entire game, if not the worst. Yeah, greenskins are a wild faction for sure. It was an ambitious build. I loved it. The one thing I don't like is the pigs. Like, Orc War Biggins just friggin' suck. But, I mean, I guess, like, based on the build, they could be okay. Oh, look at this. Zablasky gives Unbreakable to the goblins just to make them fight that much longer. Oh, with the crown of, that's so funny. Yeah. So that's going to be, game 2 to Aerocrastic. So let's go ahead and pull this up here. And now we got a 1-1 series on our hands. Even match. Evenly matched players here. I love it. It's perfect. And now let's go ahead and pick the next map for these two fine gentlemen. I'm kind of burnt out on the Sword of Torvald, actually. I don't want to pick random maps that are unbalanced. So that's the thing. I gotta go through and do that. Tower of Oath is a really good one. Damn, that terror route at the start. Well, the terror route was good. Yeah, the Hawkeyes with Discourage was really nice. Costed me a Crown of Domination use. Yeah. Zeba, pick, and ban. Well played to those two fine gentlemen. We continue forth into this good night. 1-1 here in the series. Yeah, negative 16 leadership's pretty good. It's pretty good and tasty. He had the 8 peaks. He didn't have Black Orcs, but yeah, he had the 8 peak guys. I just got a message from King of the Dead. He's like, you want to play some games? I'm like, dude, I'm streaming. That's pretty funny. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Gonna get some water. BRB. All right, guys, I'm back. It looks like he's going to pick Dark Elves and ban Bretonnia, and Aerocrastic says he's going to wait for Skaven and Wood Elves rematch. And Arrow's going to go Empire. The Sons of Sigmar rise once again. We got Indy Pride and Milk and Cookies to the war. It is him, and I agree. I agree, Indy. I think that the frickin' Greenskins are a good faction. So, what's it going to be? What is Arrow? The Empire is such a fun faction. I mean, against Dark Elves, what would I bring? Yeah, Arrow was thinking Vampire counts, but I don't feel like playing them right now. Fair play. Now, if I were playing against Dark Elves, Huntsmen are pretty decent. For sure. The anti-large against like Cold One Knights and, you know, the Flying Dragons and all that, it's not bad. I have a feeling, though, Arrow's probably going to have like a skirmish game with like Pistoliers and maybe some heavy cav play with just like light state troops. I don't think bringing like great swords and like an elite line against Dark Elves is really a great idea, because like if you play against like really good high level Dark Elf players or Elf players, they're going to kite, and the great swords are just going to be free real estate for them to pick on. If you invest that much estate, you won't be able to counter skirmish them. So maybe like a cannon, like you bring like a cannon, you bring, you know, a skirmishing corps of your own, some heavy cav from the Empire. Marcus Wolfheart I think is a really good pick here as well. Marcus's sniping and nets are like game changing. Looks like we're having some problems with Hobby. It's Tower of Hoeth. I think we're good. Cool. Just double checked. For a bloody boy, says King. We got the endgame unification here. I've never played Planescape, no. No, I haven't, to answer your question. Hey, Zach, wait, you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. Alright. Alright, Zablaski's ready. King Agizal, thank you for the $5 donation, man. Much appreciated. Pimp Wagon and a meme tank. I don't know about a meme tank against like repeater crossbows and Reaper bolt throwers. Agizal, I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, I don't know. So, Matt, what is the Marcus nerf and the beta patch? I actually haven't even seen it yet. Yeah, I haven't seen it, so let me know what the nerf is. I don't know if Marcus needs to be nerfed. He's pretty freaking good. He is pretty good, my friends. Satisfy the grudge. Hey, Frondus. Alrighty, guys, we're doing it to it. Double checking settings on the stream. Aerocrastic with some final last-minute changes to his build. Michael Isaac coming in with a $35 steel chair. He says, Canadian long weekend donation, plus a bit of a topper to celebrate a Wood Elf victory. Dude, well, hey, man. Thank you so much for your support. I'm glad you got what you came for. Yeah. Animated Hulks, oh god. They're so haggard. It nerfs his damage, huh? So you can't snipe lords? Okay, yeah. Well, you certainly won't see as much of him, that's for sure. It'll probably just go back to being Karl Franz goon squads and stuff. He can be pretty oppressive for sure, in some ways. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's warranted. I mean, I hope it's just not like such a bad nerf that you just never see him. But yeah, I wouldn't be like opposed to a small change. I usually just play with Karl Franz anyways when I play. So, all right, both players are ready. Here we are in Game 3 of this best of 5 finals between Zablaski and Aerocrastic. The winner is going to be summoned as an Elector Count for the grand final. And again, thank you guys so much for staying the course on this lovely Friday night as we march forth. Sally forth, my friends. Yes. You got a meme tank and a best of 5? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to see a meme tank. I would be really surprised. Especially against Dark Elves who have so much good AP. Like Repeater Crossbows, Dark Shard Shades, Coldwood Knights, like Marathi, Malekith. Like all things that can kill a meme tank. Also, the Dread Saurian gets plus 3,000 mass. Well, that's good. It needs to, for sure. Yeah, Marcus's buff to Huntsman is insane. In my Marcus Wolfheart campaign, which was pretty haggard, I was using like border wagons. My Huntsman at the end of the campaign had like 90 missile damage. Like they start in like, like the 20s or 30s. Yeah, it's really fun. Hey, Groma from Poland. Cześć, my friend. Jak się masz? I hope you're dobrze. All right. Cool, guys. Here we are. Let's take a look at the build. So firstly, we'll start with the Empire, since it looks like he's setting up his army over there. So we do have a Light Wizard with Barona's Time Warp and Nets, which is very much like a timing style of play. Basically, you get these heavy cav, you net, and then you Barona's Time Warp. You go for Alpha Strikes, you go for those opportune cav engagements. It's very much a cat and mouse style of play. We do have Boris Todbringer. Whenever you don't have a Life Caster, he's usually a better pick than Franz, because Franz is a bit of a glass cannon. Reichsguard Knights, a ton of Outriders. Oh, hell yeah, and Pistoliers. This is going to be fun. And State Troops into the Sunset, which actually has some greatswords mixed in. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's going to be good against Corsairs and Witch Elves and stuff. So, yeah, I thought it might be a little bit dangerous, but in this case, like, Shades will punish greatswords so freaking hard with their bows, but we'll see how it works out for him. Maybe it'll do well. And for the Dark Elf army, we have Blackheart Corsairs and Harganeth Executioners in the front line. I was really expecting more kite from Zablaski. We got Shades, Coldwood Knights in the back, and it looks like we do also have more Coldwood Knights. So this matchup typically does devolve into a bit of a mass Alpha Strike Cav battle. So we'll see how that goes. Granted, both players have brought pretty substantial front lines, like Harganeth and Corsairs for State Troops and Greatswords. Like, it's no joke. It's no joke. I know a couple Polish words, yeah, because my lovely wife is Polish, so. My lovely smoking hot wife. Always reminds me of that scene in Talladega Nights when they're at the dinner table with Grandpa Chip. It's really good. All right, so here comes the fighting. Outriders going to be getting some juicy shots. However, Shades will be there to counterpunch them. Shades have 130 range. Outriders are 130 as well, so they can trade back and forth. And these Pistoliers, ooh, they're going to be eating a shot to the face if they don't dodge quick. Ooh, really nice play by Arrow, though. He gets back before the volleys land. That was a quick reaction. And the Outriders on the far side of the battle doing really well against the Corsairs. I love Outriders. They're such a freaking cool unit. I can't wait to play with them in tabletop. So here you can see those bad boys going to continue shooting in, and it looks like a frontal charge coming in from Reiksguard. A nice hammer, really doing a ton of damage against those Corsairs. And Wrathy countercharges, might be able to get a model, but for the most part, it looks like Arrow got back without losing any models. So really good engagement so far. I think that the Outriders are going to have to start shooting at the Cold One Knights here, or at least fall back, because yeah, Cold One Knights are coming in pretty hot. And in the center, we do have a big pit fight, but it looks like the Greatswords did not take a lot of focus fire from the Shades on the approach. So now the Greatswords are in heaven. They're going to be able to get their bonus versus infantry and their AP on Corsairs, which is a great, great situation. Here on the flank, we have a bit of a cockfight between Morathi and Toddy, but it looks like Toddy is going to be falling back, probably trying to avoid a big Soul Stealer. And yeah, he avoided the Soul Stealer, kept it away from his troops. Very, very good play. Now in the back, we do have some Empire Knights or Reiksguard coming up and around the flank, looking to maybe challenge these Coldman Knights. But if he has spear support, he should be able to win that fight quite handily. So yeah, it looks like he's going to be committing, but this is a big, ugly blob. Yeah, there's two groups of Coldman Knights. Toddy's going in. Everyone's going in for this fight. You know, they're putting everything on the line. Pretty great stuff. So Light Wizard's going to be popping his Power Stone to get more Winds of Magic, so there's probably going to be a Baroness Time Warp coming up. It would be really good right here. One Baroness Time Warp would be able to hit everything. The Greatswords, the Spearmen, all these troops had really changed. But Toddy and the Reiksguard are actually beating down the Blackheart Corsairs, plus the Cold One Knights. Looks to be a very, very good engagement there. In the meantime, Empire Spearmen have gotten through. Oh, that is a huge play for Aerocrastic. The fact that these Spearmen were able to get through, and now they can start chasing Shades, that's big. Takes off the Shade Fire, which is going to really, really help his mobile assets as well as his Cav unit. So outstanding pressure there from Aerocrastic. In the back, we have Outriders shooting in, just going after some of the Cold One Knights, and it looks like they finish off one group, and now they're going to be switching their focus onto the Shades. And if I had to do a topical assessment of the battle as it is, I would say Aerocrastic's in a slight state of advantage. The infantry fight is pretty much a wash, if anything, maybe slightly favoring the Empire, which you don't hear very often. And he still has all of his skirmishing units intact with good ammo. Pistoliers are in good ammo here, Outriders in the back shooting in against Cold One Knights, Spears are mucking up Cold One Knights, and the Shades are just now getting back online. Now, not to say it's over. Morathi could get another good Soul Stealer, and of course the Shades, if they get good focus fire on any of the Reiksguard, or even Toddy, for example, that could win them the game very, very quickly. So Toddy needs to pull back here, obviously, taking a bit of damage from Morathi with her halberd. She does have bonus versus large and the Enchanting Beauty, but it looks like the elves are able to kind of stabilize this area, and that's just a testament to how truly powerful Morathi's debuffs are. The Enchanting Beauty plus Heartrender and the Dark Sword is just so good. Negative 18 melee attack puts Reiksguard down to 28, it looks like, which is, you know, not the best for what you're paying. In the meantime, Shades are going to be rotating over, probably going to be trying to get some focus fire on Toddy, or maybe on the Light Wizard if they can. Pistolier's going to be kiting backwards. Balance of Power is still actually in the favor of the Empire, believe it or not. And Toddy's going in for an Alpha Strike against Morathi, but if Morathi is able to kind of get that halberd play with some support from Cold One Knights, but they get terrified. That was a big factor, because Morathi can't beat Toddy like head up in a fisticuffs fight, but if she has some Witchcraft nearby helping her, looks like a Soul Stealer going down as well. Good to be healing up Morathi. Oh, and the Shades coming in, but Toddy just barely jukes those shots. If those two Shade Volleys had made solid contact with Toddy there, ooh, that could have been really bad, and that could have given the Dark Elves a really big avenue back into this game. Now, in the meantime, they have some Harganeth. It looks like the Outrider core is in good shape still. And yeah, those Outriders have really good ammo, and that's going to be a ton of AP. They could like pick apart these Cold One Knights and some of these other units for sure. Now, back over here, we have another pit fight. It looks like Toddy's going in after Morathi. Is there going to be a Baroness Time Warp? It looks like there's going to be something going down. Yes, Time Warp's going to be active, but guys, Toddy is going down rather quickly. The Shades are probably in guard mode, getting some really good fire, and the Baroness Time Warp is not going to save him. Maybe it'll help him get away a little bit quicker, but he needs to run like 100%. Morathi's coming for that booty. Oh, and she shanks him right in the back. Negative 62. Is Toddy going to be going down? The Balance of Power could creep back towards the middle as Toddy is going to get pushed off. Man, crazy stuff. But despite that, Aerocrastic still has all his Outriders. Oh, and they unleash a torrent of holy Sigmarite fire into Morathi, and she is just taking it like an absolute champ, and down goes Morathi. Oh, Morathi just got no-scoped. Just taken out, sniped by these brave sons of Sigmar. And you can see in the distance, Toddbringer is probably actually going to stabilize, maybe. Yeah, he's healing. He might come back. And at that point, without Morathi, the Pistoliers and the Outriders, I think, are going to be able to pick apart this entire army. At this point, basically what you do for Aerocrastic is you kill the Cold One Knights, you kill the mobility, which then gives you full reign to just cycle charge and kite to your heart's content. Man, that was an intense sniping right there. Great stuff, great stuff. And yeah, you can see the Light Wizard's going to get in there with his Pimp Cane. He's going to be able to do some good work, and that's going to be that. Man, look at that. Freaking Last Samurai shots. Those Outriders just doing the work of Sigmar. Look at that. And Toddy's back with a vengeance, and that's going to be the game. Aerocrastic's going to pull out a victory for the Sons of Sigmar. Oh, man, that was awesome. That was really good. Hot damn. So now it's only a matter of time until cleanup. So, we had a donation coming in from Garland Green. Says Greenskins should be given a looted steam tank. Dude, that would be great. Or the fearsome Snotling pump wagon. Garland, I would love both of those. That would be awesome. Thank you so much, Garland. Dov's liking it. Of course he is. Has all his favorite stuff. Good old Dov. So, Dark Elves dropped the game. Aerocrastic picks it up. That's a 2-1 lead. If Aero wins the next game, he advances on as an Elector Count to the Grand Finals. Let's see if he's able to do it. 2-1 right now. Here we go. Showtime. So, let's go ahead and pick the... I don't like Warpstone Mine. I think it has some gamey... I want to make sure to pick a map that is very fair here. Not too small. Let's give him a little space to work with, huh? Ruins of Paravon. River Amazon's a good map. That one has I like that one a lot, actually. It's really fun. We both came in with some pretty bold armies in that one. So now we're probably going to have Skaven versus Wood Elves. I think that's what they wanted to do. Next game. It's best of 5. Don't you guys leave. Toddy showing Marathi a good time, yeah. Blackhawk Corsairs are the new White Lions. Yeah. Can we do Wood Elf Skaven? They want to do this. Oh man, this is going to be good. All right, let's see how it goes. They're going to be picking their armies. I think that Dark Elf army is asking to get abused by the Empire anyways. Yeah, it was a very, like... The Cold Knights couldn't do much about the Outriders and stuff. Both of them brought, like, pretty spicy investments. So Zablaski on Wood Elves and Aerocrastic on Skaven. Welcome to Noob Hammer. Yeah, it's great. Great stuff. Gamer the Gray. Fortune favors the brave. Fortune favors the Sons of Sigmar this day. Well, at least in that battle. And yeah, Gamer, thank you so much for the 20, man. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. And who are you pulling for, man? You want Splasky? You want Arrow? It's been some pretty hotly contested games. Welcome to the jungle. We got rats and elves. I like that, Misha. A sniper duel. I wonder how Zablaski's going to play it. Like, is he going to try and play the bow game and have a Mass Dryad? Oh, Mass Dryad Rush with Mel Gibson. Come on, baby. Let's do it. Skaven Palpatine. Are these 3 factions good for a tourney? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Do I have a single favorite unit? Oh, that's hard, dude. I don't know if I do. I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite single. I love Demogryph Knights. They're like one of my favorite. They're so cool. Yeah. Hey, Falcon. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Arisidamos. My bed is calling. Somebody convince me to stay. And then he bats his eyes at chat. Stay, man. Where are you going? Come on. We're close to the end. How could you do this to yourself? It's Friday night. Zypho says, Zablaski's going to kite with 20 stack of archers. Oh, God. Gamer the Gray says he's a big fan of Arrow. Well, he's up right now, man. Your boy might be able to pull it out, but Zablaski is quite a fierce contender. I got a pretty cool build for the thing. Cool. So I'm going to ready up. The Bloated Corpse is quite funny, but it's not my favorite. I love Demogryph Knights. I really like Slayers, obviously. I don't know. Yeah, Demis, like Royal Altorf Gripfites are one of my favorite units. Like just how much of a hammer they are with terror, and it's like so cool. I don't know what the orcs call Skaven. That's a good question. Joseph Herman, you're welcome. We're dedicated, man. We're dedicated. We are dedicated indeed. Alrighty. Aerocrastic is ready. Let me check. So we have a donation coming in from Adam D. So, Adam. Damn. So Adam just dropped a fat $51 donation. And I'm going to go ahead and read the message here in just a second. Because the message appears in a different window. I need to get a better way of setting that up. Let me do that now. One second. I'm pulling it up on my laptop, brother. Yeah, so Adam, thank you so much, man, for the 50. That's super generous, dude. Let me scroll down and see the message now. If you put one. So, Tanomi donated $51, says, for many hours of entertainment, the whole Total War community is amazing. Thank you, man. That's really, really generous of you, dude. And yes, I do see it. They just appear in a different spot. Yeah. My favorite non-human faction, dwarves. In terms of lore. In terms of play, Vampire Coast, probably. I love Skaven. I like playing Bretonnia, but I'm not very good at them. Yeah. Tanomi, thank you so much. I see you, man. I see you, brother. I see you, man. All right. So let's take a look at the army. So, it looks like a blitz coming in from Zablaski. Zablaski. I just totally Porky Pigged his name. Remember Porky Pig? That's all, folks. All right. So anyways, in the front line here, Zablaski has a bunch of Dryads, Wardens of Sithrol for some anti-large, Wild Riders and Sisters of Thorn with the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, and a mass vanguard here in the trees. And please tell me it's Mel Gibson. Oh, it's going to be a dragon. Okay, that's fine. Helm of Discord, so he's going for a melee style. He's not going to be trying to snipe. He does also have a Spellslinger with life. And on the far side, it looks like a Vanguard coming in with some Wild Riders in the back. And yeah, just a full Wood Elf rush. It's going to be fun. And now for the forces of Aerocrastic. It looks like in the front, he has a bit of a spread formation of Skaven Slaves. Very, very standard stuff. Mixed in with some Gutter Runners. So he's actually going to be... He probably is expecting the rush. You can see by his deployment that he's like, okay, there's going to be some treachery afoot. So he does have the Gutter Runners. He's got Slingers back here, more Slingers. He does also have his Grey Seer again, and this seems to be his favorite choice. He loves this Grey Seer, but the Grey Seer will be very good against Dryads. It's a large, armored, anti-infantry unit that will be supporting the other Skaven troops. On top of that, he does also have the Dwarf Thing Menace. Awesome! The Arwar of the Doom Flayers. So again, very good against Dryads, so I think he's kind of expecting something like this. Like, yeah, this is going to be really fun. In the back, he does also have a Warp Lightning Cannon and a Hell Pit Abomination to deal with the Dragon, plus the Wild Riders and things like that. So it seems like Aerocrastic is very, very used to this style of play. I think he's going to be relatively well prepared. And look at this. He even deploys stuff over here. Like, because I think he knows there's going to be something back here. Look at this. Oh, he called it like an absolute champion. Because almost every Wood Elf player, like, there's only one spot to Vanguard in this map. Look at that. Tournament savvy veteran business. Man, Zablaski needs to move ASAP. Like, he could survive with these guys if he moves. But yeah, look at this. Oh, and Zablaski, is he going to get away? I think he is. Oh, he's kind of caught up and he needs to keep force pathing away. Wild stuff. Anyways, in the front line, Dryads and all these guys are moving in, taking some Gutter Runner fire on the flanks. Zablaski will be collapsing inward with the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, going after these Gutter Runners, which is a really good choice, getting rid of those annoying skirmishers. And the Doomflayers are going to be coming in to go after the Wardens of Sithrol, who are not braced, so this is going to be some really good damage, it looks like. Oh, no, he actually changed his targets. I think he went to the Dryads there, and he runs over some Dryads. Yeah, the Dwarf Thing Menace can definitely do some good work. Now in the back, it looks like some of the Wild Riders were able to get away, so there's a big batch of them kind of running here. So he only lost 10 models, and honestly, it did pull a lot of Arrow's stuff out of position, so it's not the worst situation in the world. Now, if we look back at the main fighting, the Dwarf Thing Menace is landing amongst these troops here, and it's doing good work, but the Helm of Discord Dragon is coming down, and the Dwarf Thing Menace probably will he get terror routed? Is it immune to psychology? I don't think it is now. So yeah, it could potentially get terror routed here. But anyways, the Slinger's doing a really good job just kind of peppering these Wood Elf forces and basically just kind of halting the advance, keeping them from getting back to the Warp Lightning Cannon, which is most likely shooting the Dragon or Wild Riders, I would imagine. Yeah, it's probably going after the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. So you can see here that Zablasky is very desperately trying to get all these guys and push back up to the cannon piece. He needs to get back there and get on the cannon. But now Aerocrastic is going to be coming out with the second wave of pressure from the forest. So Skaven Slaves, Rat Ogres, he's got Doom players back here. Things are about to get really messy. So Warp Lightning Cannon shooting downtown, but very well played by Zablasky. He's able to get his Dragon and shatter the Dwarfling Menace, and now he's going to be going after the other Doom players. So he's basically removing the variables that can just mulch his infantry, which is going to make the battle much more kind of manageable for him. If we look on the wings, we have some Dryads still fighting. We have a big, ugly Skaven blob here. Some of the Wild Riders have been beaten down and terrified. That perpetual fire from the Warp Lightning Cannon has been paying huge dues, and now it's going to be shooting at the Glade Lord here. So the Glade Lord is definitely a pretty juicy target. He's large, he's armored, he's buttered up, he's ready to party. Nice little dodge there by Zablasky. And the second Doom player is pushed off, so despite the fact that Zablasky has taken a lot of damage and maybe on the ropes, he's actually done a really good job pushing off the Doom players. But that's the thing, like the back line of the Skaven is pretty intact. The Warp Lightning Cannon's still doing its thing. The Helpit is in like perfect shape. And the Grey Seer with the Lore of Plagues here is going to be a great tool against all these infantry. So that's quite strong for sure. Another Warp Lightning Blast going into the Glade Lord. Here comes a Breath Attack as well, going into some Rat Ogres in the ground and some Clan Rats, doing some okay work. But maybe the Dragon should just beeline it for the back and try and take out the Warp Lightning Cannon. But yeah, Arrow's not going to let that happen. As a matter of fact, Aerocrastic does have the Helpit Abomination back here. And he's just, what is that thing doing? It's like breakdancing. You guys see that? But yeah, he's going to use this thing to terror route off other troops back here. Although Dryads, I believe, are immune to psychology. So yeah, they're just going to have to break naturally. But he's basically going to be guarding the Warp Lightning Cannon, which would be quite good. So if we look here, you can see the Glade Lord is taking some pebbles to the face. Wild Rider still pushing forward. It's still a game Zablasky can win, for sure. He just has to get a couple good picks, maybe heal up his Dragon a little bit. The Wild Riders, in the meantime, are these sisters actually sisters? Yeah, trying to get on the Slingers, but there are a bunch of Skaven Slaves with spears and annoying units over there that are going to make that very tough. And oh man, I really think maybe taking out that Warp Lightning Cannon would be huge here. Deadly Onslaught is popped, so he's going to get a charge bonus and weapon damage and everything, and he's trying to goon that out, but that's where the Helpit is, man. And the Helpit's blessed with filth, I think, or actually no, the Curse of Onrare is going down, so it is a curse, not a blessing. And the Glade Lord is going to get buffed by regrowth, but I just don't see how the Wood Elves can do this. Man, Aerocrastic is just so good with Skaven. Like, I would have buckled under that type of pressure if I were playing Skaven. And if we look around, you can see there's some Wild Riders on the flanks coming for that booty, going after the Doom players in the back. Maybe that could help, like, break off the Skaven formation and give the Wood Elves kind of a fighting pocket. I like this by Zablasky. He does have some Wild Hunters of Kurnus here, I think, and they're actually trying to finish off the Helpit Abomination. Now, those Wild Riders do actually have bonus for his large, but Arrow just has so many annoying spears everywhere. And the fire damage also from this Dragon. Oh, it doesn't do fire damage, that's right. This one does, like, poison. So it's not going to get bonus damage against the Helpit. Helm of Discord is popped as well. And the Bounce Fire is actually going back towards the middle as the Dragon... Oh, is it going to break the Helpit? Helpit's steady. It's still going. Got 60 leadership. Wild Rider cycle charging, doing very good on the flanks as well. And yeah, this is a close game, guys. Oh, and some Dryads came back from route. This is huge. This could actually get him back in the game. Hardcore. So Zablasky had some Dryads that routed. Now they're going to be coming in and getting on that Warp Lightning Cannon. At the very least, they're going to stop it from firing. Oh, and they get the full charge right on the crew also. So Arrow responds very quickly, though. He pulls off the Warp Lightning Cannon crew. He starts falling back. He probably will be able to clean up these Dryads, but that was huge. Breath Attack coming down from the Dragon as well. And where is this Glade Lord going to go? That is the question. Now that a lot of the Skaven armies over here, maybe just going after the Helpit Abomination isn't a bad idea. Just getting your Wild Riders and doing a big old Alpha Strike. Yeah, so he's going in against the Helpit. He gets a nice charge in the back. Is he going to make contact? It looks like it misses its first attack. Helpit Abominations are very tough to bring down. Very, very tough. Oh, we have a synced battle animation as the Helpit is flipped. Let's get some Cine shots here. Glorious stuff. But the Helpit's pretty strong, 4,200. The Dragon definitely got the worst end of that trade there. And yeah, Wood Elves have a lot of stuff coming back. They have a bunch of like random Dryads and stuff who will be quite good in the grind. It's really just dealing with the Helpit. The Grey Seer is going to be good, obviously, for summons and Blessing with Filth and keeping the Skaven army vigorous and happy. But in terms of like fighting a Dragon, if the Helpit were removed from the equation, that could be something that could really kind of anchor them. There's also 35 Wild Riders here for Zablasky. That's a lot. So these Wild Riders, yeah, the breakdancing Helpit Abomination, I love that. That thing could breakdance super good. And I do see that donation. I'll get to it just as soon as the battle's over. Thank you so much, man. So the Glade Lord here going to be taking a ton of pebbles to the face. Just more and more pebbles. This is great. I mean, Skaven, death by 1,000 haggard cuts. And Shield of Thorns is going to give him some physical resist, but I feel like he's in a very unhappy situation here. Dryad's coming back in. The Wild Rider group that was originally healthy for a second is now taking fire from the Warp Lightning Cannon once again. But those freaking Dryads from Zablasky are just persistent. Look at them coming back once again. And the Grey Seer is going to be popping the Unholy Clamor, so that's so good. The entire Skaven army gets vigor. Oh, look at them. These guys are like fresh. These slingers are fresh after a full fight. That's so good. There's so many penalties for a unit being tired. So Zablaski's trying to juke to the best of his abilities. He's dropping the moves like Jagger for sure. Wild Riders are fighting against spears in the forest. Not a good situation for them, but they don't really have a choice. Like, if they run, they get pebbled. Like, might as well try and break those Skaven slaves, I guess. So the dragon's back up in the sky. The Dryads have come back in once again and shut down the Warp Lightning Cannon. But guys, after a very hard-fought battle, very hard-fought, it looks like the Glade Lord and the Wood Elves are going to be falling to the wrath of the Skaven. I think the Vermintide is too persistent. It's too fierce. There's too much. Yeah, the Hellpit Abomination is so strong. Look at this thing. 101 leadership rhino. Jesus. Yeah, good luck breaking that. And it's nowhere near its healing cap. The longer this goes, the Hellpit's going to trigger army losses with its heals. So here comes the Breath Attack. Pretty nice stuff. Yeah, roasting some Skavens. Nah, that was actually not a good one. Yeah, it was pretty weak Breath Attack. You can't win them all. So what Arrow does is he runs the Warp Lightning Cannon crew away from the piece, so the Breath Attack will shoot the crew and not the actual pieces. Really smart stuff. And guys, Arrow Krasik is now one of the Elector Counts of Season 3 of the Eternal Challenger League. We will see him in the Grand Finals. GG. Wild times indeed. And Thomas Gumbly. Holy shit, Thomas. Turin says, Turin, you're the best. Had to drop in to donate. I'll be catching it later. Keep them high and tight. I will, dude. Thank you for the 100 euros, man. That is super generous. So Thomas Gumbly, let's hear a round of applause for him as well with the fat hundies. That'll certainly raise the prize pool for the ECL finals. He needed Orion, guys. He needed the Dark Lord of Athel Loren. So guys, Arrow Krasik is going to be our grand champion for today. Cue the epic music. And we will add him to the letter of Franz. So Arrow. I'm doing it. We're signing it right now. The Emperor's Decree. Yes. Arise, son of Sigmar, and rejoice. There you have it, guys. Was it pounds? Did I miss it? Was it pounds? I'm sorry if it was pounds. Okay, it's pounds. Yeah, for 100 pounds. Thank you, man. No, not right now, King. It's been 3 hours. My hand's actually hurting. So, but I'll play some with you this weekend. I'm sorry. I'm an American. Forgive me. All right, so very well played. Arrow Krasik is going to be our champ for the day. Let's go ahead and say well played to him. Let's see what they're saying. So, that Wild Rider Vanguard decided to take a vacation for a few minutes. Yeah. He's like, how did that thing get away from the corner? Oh, man, that was an amazing game. Absolutely amazing. Great series. So if we look back today at the bracket, Arrow Krasik has advanced. Very well played to Subutai, who actually had a 2-1 series against Arrow as well. Very well played to Flying Taco. I mean, his games with Zablaski were quite amazing to watch. Zablaski played amazing games, an awesome player, and of course Arrow, the champion of today, is going to be moving on as one of our Elector counts. Yes. No, I would love to play, honestly, but my hand does hurt quite badly, so I don't want to like risk having pain tomorrow. Like it's really depressing. Yeah, but it's my life, guys. I gotta do it. If I had my way, I would just stream for the rest of the day. I would just stream for like 5 or 6 hours. We have another donation coming in from Jason Denny 9 minutes ago during the battle for $50. So Jason Denny with a fat erect donation. And it says, just got here. We'll have to watch this when I get back later. Jason, thank you so much, man, for the $50 donation. Sorry I missed it. It was during the heat of the finals. But Jason, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So, guys, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching the Eternal Challenger League Season 3 Qualifier number 5. Arrow Krasik is our champion for the day. And on that note, I'm going to play you guys off with the trailer that we forgot to play in the beginning, which I feel is a little bit heretical, so we will play it here. So thank you guys so much. I will see you guys. Tomorrow is our probably an Alberic campaign, and then on frickin' Sunday, we're going to have a Magic stream, and then Tuesday, we have another ECL. Because I'm going to be gone for Everchosen, so we need to get one out of the way. And do it to it. It's time. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on the other side. Enjoy the trailer.
atop a throne of skulls.